India's #1 political reporter.
Defines what seems to be happening, vendetta politics. कोई दूध के से धुला हुआ नहीं है.
Unmatched eye, unmatched experience.
The world has changed. My black hair has become grey as well.
And with unmatched passion for the story.
Do not monopolize the conversation.
When it's 100% pure prime time. It's News Today with Rajdeep Sardesai. Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. Only on India Today TV.
You are watching
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now.
You are watching
Oh, sorry.
बाबा के राज में तो पक गए, इलेक्शन में इतनी मेहनत की कि थक गए। तुम तो चाय पिलाओ मियाँ, आजमगढ़ से हाय आदमी को जिताओ मियाँ।
जी जी चाय लाया।
चाय पहले यहाँ आएगी मियाँ, क्योंकि यूपी के सीएम हम हैं। मैं कह रहा था बाबा जी, चाय तो आप ही पहले पी लो, लेकिन आजमगढ़ में झंडे हम ही गाड़ेंगे। रामपुर से करेंगे आपकी हार की शुरुआत, फिर धीरे धीरे यूपी से उखाड़ेंगे। चाय भी हम पियेंगे और यूपी में भी हम रहेंगे। जनता की मोहब्बत से हम यहाँ डंडा गाड़ के रहते हैं। साइकिल लेकर हमसे ना टकराओ मुन्ना, बिखर जाओगे। हमें लोग बाबा बुलडोजर कहते हैं। खामोश। कमल में दम नहीं, हम किसी से कम नहीं। साइकिल है तो पॉसिबल है।
Presented by Berger Easy Clean. No dag, no dhabba, only beautiful walls.
India Today Group wins big again. Bags 37 awards at the NT Awards 2022. Aaj Tak triumphs with 18 awards. India Today TV with 12 awards. AajTak.in and IndiaToday.in with 5 awards. And Good News Today with 2 awards, making the group proud once again. India Today Group, the gold standard of journalism.
Presented by Berger Easy Clean. No dag, no dhabba, only beautiful walls.
You are watching India Today.
Very good afternoon and thanks so much for being with us here on India Today. I'm Chaiti Narula joining you with all the top stories. Let's start with the headlines first. Shocker from Congress Neta Sheikh Hussain amidst party satyagraha for Rahul, says Prime Minister will die the death of a street dog. An FIR has been registered.
काम करना है वो छोड़कर ये फालतू के काम करना बंद करो, नहीं तो नरेंद्र मोदी तेरा वही हाल होगा। बीफ अब क्या बोलेंगे कि जैसे कुत्ते की मौत होती है ऐसे नरेंद्र मोदी की मौत होगी।
Day 3 of Rahul Gandhi's grilling underway. ED sources say Rahul tutored answers, slowing down questioning. Congress cadres set tires ablaze outside ED office in VVIP, Delhi. Kerala gold scam fallout simmers. BJP takes to the streets against Chief Minister Vijay and water cannons used against protester. Accused Swapna defiance says won't withdraw statement. Big blow to Mamta's Raisina race. AAP and TRS set to skip her meeting. Pawar says no to be the joint opposition nominee. Left proposes Mahatma Gandhi's grandson. Saad Ansari rerun in Tamil Nadu. ABVP man arrested in Coimbatore for backing Nupur Sharma. Bengal teen behind bars for opposing the rioters. Singer Moosewala murder secrets set to unravel. Punjab cops get gangster Lawrence Bishnoi's custody. Murder threat to Salman Khan also being probed. A Maharashtra Neta's, that is Congress Neta's abusive rant against the Prime Minister is the new low now in Indian politics. While participating in a satyagraha in support of Rahul Gandhi, Congress leader Sheikh Hussain declared that the Prime Minister will die like a street dog. As Congress cadres burn tires in the capital, its netas spewed venom in Nagpur. Hussain has now been booked. He is charged under IPC section 294 that relates to obscene acts and 504 IPC for intentional insult with intent to provoke breach of peace. BJP has slammed the hate speech by the Congress neta now. We're getting you some reactions. Listen in.
कि नरेंद्र मोदी तुमको लोगों ने देश को विकास करने के लिए दिया है। 70 साल में कांग्रेस ने किया है, उसी को बेच कर तुम देश चला रहे हो। तुम कुछ कर नहीं रहे। ये फालतू के काम करना बंद करो, नहीं तो नरेंद्र मोदी तेरा वही हाल होगा। फिर अब क्या बोलेंगे कि जैसे कुत्ते की मौत होती है, ऐसे नरेंद्र मोदी की मौत होगी।
India Today has grilled the Maharashtra Congress neta about his abusive rant against the Prime Minister. Sheikh Hussain remains defiant and he even refuses to apologize. Listen in.
शेख हुसैन जी, आपने इतना बड़ा स्टेटमेंट दिया है, फुल पब्लिक में एफआईआर लगाया गया है आपके ऊपर, आपका क्या कहना है? आपने जो कहा उसको मानते हो आप?
नहीं, देखिए, मैंने जो भी भाषण दिया, समझे क्या, मैंने गुजरात में हुआ जो दिया, महंगाई के खिलाफ, ये सब कुछ भाषण दिया। मैंने आखिरी में जो बोला हूँ, समझे क्या, एक मुहावरे के तौर पे मैंने बोला, ऐसा कोई किसी के ऊपर मैं करके बोला नहीं मैंने। वो
आपने बोला है कि मोदी, आपने बोला है प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी कुत्ते के जैसे मर जाएंगे रोड पे, ऐसे आपने बोला है। आप हमको सुनाई दे रहा है वो।
तो मैंने वो मुहावरे के रूप में बोला, मुहावरा जो होता है, मैं पार्टी के हित में बोला, मैंने पार्टी की तरफ से बोला। आज हमारी
प्राइम मिनिस्टर के बारे में बोल रहे हैं, आपको पता है कि ये गलत है?
नहीं, मैं बोला, मैंने प्रधानमंत्री के बारे में कुछ ऐसा गलत बोला ही नहीं ना मैडम।
आपने बोला तो है, यहाँ पर हमारे पास वीडियो है, चल रहा है टीवी पे।
हाँ, तो जो बोला मैंने मुहावरे के तौर में बोला मैंने,
ऐसे तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर के बारे में बोलना गलत है ना, वो भी पब्लिक प्लेटफॉर्म में ऐसे माइक के थ्रू।
नहीं, कौन सी गलत है? मैंने जो भी लोकशाही को आज कुचल रहे हैं, मैंने जो भी सब मैंने लोकशाही पद्धति से जो बोलना है मैंने वो बोला, और मैंने जो भाषण में पूरा बोला, और मैंने आखिर में मुहावरा दिया, समझ जाए क्या? मेरा कोई इसके ऊपर में प्रधानमंत्री को बोलना ऐसा कोई ये नहीं है, मेरा मुहावरा है वो।
आपने प्रधानमंत्री का नाम लेके ही बोला है आपने।
हमारी नेता सोनिया गांधी, राहुल गांधी, समझे क्या, आसाम के मुख्यमंत्री ने कितनी बड़ी बात बोला कि राहुल के पिताजी कौन है, समझ है क्या? ये इतना ये कुछ भी बोलेंगे, ये खिलाफ नहीं है। आज सोनिया गांधी और राहुल गांधी आज देश के नेता है, कांग्रेस पार्टी के नेता है वो।
तो क्या हो गया उनको?
हम भी
देश के नेता है,
काम करते हैं।
ईडी ने समन किया है, करप्शन एलिगेशंस है, उसको प्रोब कर रही है, वो लीगल दौर पे जा रहा है। आप ऐसे आगे स्पीच दे रहे हो, और वो भी प्रधानमंत्री के ऊपर ऐसे अनाप शनाप बात कर रहे हो पब्लिक प्लेटफॉर्म पे, और आप बोल रहे हो मुहावरा है।
मुहावरा ही है ना वो, और क्या मुहावरा है वो?
तो आप अपॉलोजेटिक नहीं है, आप माफी नहीं मांगोगे?
मैंने जो कहा वो सच कहा, पार्टी के हित में किया, और वो मुहावरा है।
अच्छा, तो कांग्रेस पार्टी के हित में आप ऐसे गाली दे रहे हो प्रधानमंत्री को?
नहीं, गाली दिया ही नहीं ना मैंने, गाली दिया ही नहीं।
आपने तो बोला है कि कुत्ते के जैसे, स्ट्रीट डॉग के जैसे रोड पे मर जाएगा।
तो आपके पास वीडियो देख लीजिए, मैंने ऐसा कुछ बोला नहीं है। मैंने पूरा भाषण में
यहाँ पर तो वीडियो हम पिछले 5 मिनट से वीडियो प्ले कर रहे हैं। आपने बोला है साफ साफ कि अगर प्रधानमंत्री बहुत सारे इश्यूज को देखेंगे नहीं तो वो कुत्ते के जैसे मर जाएंगे रोड पे।
नहीं, मैंने जो मुहावरे के रूप में बोला है, समझ है कि वो कैसा बोला है वो देख लीजिए। मेरा कहना है क्या मैडम, आप सुन लीजिए, कांग्रेस, राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस, शिवसेना, इनके ऊपर ईडी के नोटिस। क्या बीजेपी के लोगों के पास में भ्रष्टाचार नहीं है क्या? उनको नहीं देते नोटिस?
वो उनका काम कर रही है, मगर
उनको क्यों नहीं नोटिस देते ना? बोलो ना ये भी बात आप। हम चिड़ेंगे नहीं कि हमारे को गुस्सा नहीं आएगा क्या? और हमारे गांधी परिवार, जिस गांधी परिवार ने पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू 90% प्रॉपर्टी का पूरा पार्टी को दिया, देश के लिए दिया, देश को बनाया, 70 साल में जो कांग्रेस ने बनाया उसको आप बेचने का काम कर रहे हैं।
जी, पता है आप कांग्रेस पार्टी में हैं, आपका गुस्सा जायज है, मगर आप ऐसे अनाप शनाप बात करोगे पब्लिक प्लेटफॉर्म में, ये कैसा हुआ? आपके ऊपर तो एफआईआर लगा हुआ है, सेक्शन 506। सेक्शन
नहीं, मैंने कुछ ज्यादा
506
बोला ही
और
नहीं,
सेक्शन 294।
FIR लगा नहीं लगा मालूम नहीं, और FIR लगने वाली ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है।
आपको मालूम नहीं है FIR लगा है आपके ऊपर?
5 साल तक मैं अध्यक्ष रहा नागपुर शहर कांग्रेस कमेटी का, 9 साल महाराष्ट्र प्रदेश का अध्यक्ष रहा मैंने, घंटानाथ 20 साल चलाया, समझे क्या?
तो आपके ऊपर FIR लगाया गया है, वो आपको पता नहीं है शेख जी?
नहीं, मुझे अभी तो तक नहीं मालूम मेरे को क्या है।
तो अगर आपको पुलिस बुलाएगी तो आप जाओगे? आपका स्टेटमेंट रिकॉर्ड करोगे?
नहीं, पुलिस से बुलाने से जाएंगे ना, उसमें क्या बोलने की बात है, जो भी करना करेंगे, वो बात की बात है ना। आप क्या अभी उसमें क्या है, अभी तक तो बुलाई नहीं मुझे।
शेख जी अगर उन्होंने बोला कि आपको माफी मांगना चाहिए, आप माफी मांगोगे?
नहीं, मैं अभी इसके बारे में कुछ बोलना नहीं चाहता, मैंने जो बोलना है आपको बयान दे दिया हूँ, समझ गए क्या?
ये तो अभी तो वायरल हो चुका है वीडियो। आप नेशनल टेलीविजन में बात कर रहे हैं, आप इंडिया टुडे के चैनल के थ्रू क्या कहना चाहते हैं लोगों को जो गुस्सा हुए हैं आपके स्पीच से?
मैंने जो बात करना था मैंने किया आपसे, मेरा पूरा भाषण भी आप क्या दे दिए ना आप इंडिया इसमें टीवी में।
अच्छा, आपने बोला क्या स्पीच में, बोला क्या आपने? आपने जो स्पीच दिया उसमें बोला क्या?
मैंने कुछ नहीं बोला, मैंने मुहावरे के तौर में वो बोला, मेरा कोई प्रधानमंत्री को बोलने से उसके पीछे कोई उद्देश्य नहीं, कुछ नहीं बोला मैंने।
नहीं बोला क्या? जो स्पीच है, जो वायरल वीडियो है, उसमें बोला क्या?
आपके पास वीडियो देख लीजिए ना आप, मेरे पास जो बोला मुहावरा।
हाँ, तो आपका बोलने का क्या मतलब था, वो बोलिए, आपका मीनिंग क्या था, वो क्या आप कहना क्या चाहते थे पहली दौर पे?
ये मैंने जो पहला चाहता था, मेरा वीडियो देख लीजिए, उसमें मैंने सब कुछ बोल दिया। अभी क्या होता है, 3 दिन के बाद बोलूंगा, फिर अलग अलग बातचीत होती है। मैंने जो बोलना था बोल दिया है, और मैंने कुछ भी ऐसा कोई बोला नहीं, मैंने मुहावरे के तौर पर मैंने वो बोला, समझ गए सेंटेंस, जिसको ये बीजेपी वाले नागपुर शहर के अंदर में समझे क्या माहौल खराब करना चाहते हैं। मैं मुस्लिम हूँ, समझे क्या, इसलिए वो करना चाहते हैं माहौल खराब, समझे?
तो आप बोल रहे हो कि क्योंकि आप मुस्लिम हो आपको टारगेट कर रहे हैं? हाँ,
नहीं, उनके पीछे वही भूमिका है नागपुर शहर में, सब जानते हैं वो, जितने लोग हैं मेरे को।
हाँ, क्या जानते हैं?
नहीं, मैंने कुछ
Breaking news coming in. Congress Neta remains defiant after abusing Prime Minister Modi. Congress Neta says, what should I apologize for? Congress Neta instead demands apology from Prime Minister after abusing the Prime Minister in this form and fashion, that too in public domain. The man remains defiant, and instead of apologizing for his remarks, he's instead asking an apology from the Prime Minister. The big question here is, does the Congress stand by the comments made by Sheikh Hussain in public domain in this form and fashion? Congress Neta still defiant after making that clear comment about how the Prime Minister will die like a dog, and that too in public discourse. The man does not even apologize. We are getting some reactions coming in, and also we will play this soundbite again for you because he is denying it. He just spoke to Nabila right now, says I have not spoken something of this nature. So we will play that out again for you to prove it to you exactly what he has said.
नहीं, मैंने तो ऐसा कोई FIR होने वाली बात, ऐसी कोई दर्ज होना चाहिए, ऐसा कोई बात तो मैंने बोला नहीं। जो भी ये पार्टी के हित में, पार्टी लाइन के ऊपर मैंने भाषण दिया पूरा, और मैंने अब आखिर की बात कौन से सेंटेंस को बोल रहे हैं तो मुहावरे के रूप में मैंने वो पेश किया।
क्या ये मुहावरा है कि मोदी कुत्ते की मौत मरे?
ऐसे मुहावरे बोले जाते हैं ना, ऐसे बहुत सी चीज़ें बोली जाती है, वही मुहावरा मैंने बोला।
तो आपको इसमें कुछ खेद है ऐसे बोलने पे?
नहीं, मैंने ऐसी खेद लायक कोई बात ही नहीं किया। प्रधानमंत्री जी के बारे में कुछ बोलने का सवाल ही नहीं आता। जो भी है भाषण में मैंने पूरा जो भी बोलना है मैंने वो बोला है भाषण के अंदर में।
We demand action against this immediately by the Maharashtra police. He should be arrested, and the Congress party must tell us that is it because they are silent on the 2,000 crore money heist done by the Agency of Young Indians of the AJL and of National Herald that now the Congress leaders are becoming violent and are trying to take hostage the streets of Mumbai, Delhi and other parts and are trying to intimidate the agencies?
देखिए, इस प्रकार के घृणित बयान प्रतिक्रिया के योग्य नहीं है, परंतु यह कांग्रेस की क्षुद्रता और मानसिक स्तर की सीमा तक पहुंच गया है। यह उसका क्रमशः प्रमाण है। यह केवल एक घटना नहीं है। 2007 में सोनिया जी ने मौत के सौदागर बोला था। 2014 में मोदी जी की बोटी बोटी काटने का आह्वान किया गया, और आज यह बोला गया, तो यह कांग्रेस की वास्तविक मानसिकता कितने निचले और छिछले स्तर पर आती जा रही है उसका प्रमाण।
Kamlesh is now joining us live for the very latest. Kamlesh, we heard what Sheikh Hussain said. Whatever he denies or does not deny, it is on record what he has said. So even if he wants to say, I never said something of this nature, it is there on record. The point here is, one, will he apologize? B, the larger question, does the Congress stand by these comments?
Well, we heard what he said, Chetty. He says he remains unapologetic, and he's constantly insisting on that word, that it's a proverb that he has used, and it is in public discourse what he had said, and he didn't intend to say anything about the Prime Minister, but what he had said, which is in public domain and in public discourse, the speech that he made during the protest is available for everyone to see and hear what he's saying. He remains unapologetic. Secondly, Congress leaders in Maharashtra have in a way tried to distance from the comments. They said that whatever he said, they don't want to comment on that at this point. It's a statement made by an individual. Although the Congress leaders here in Maharashtra have not come on record as yet, we'll try to speak to them and ask them on whether they stand by the statements made by this gentleman, which he says is a proverbial statement and not intended, not to be taken in its literal sense. Now, this is in a way very in a comic. It's a comic defense of what he had said, the statement made by him. Congress at this point in time trying to distance itself, but an FIR has been registered in Nagpur after the BJP took it seriously and demanded that if the leader is not behind bars in next 48 hours, they will stage protests, and like senior leaders from BJP have protested against it and they have demanded an FIR. But the Congress now in a soup, what they tried to stage a protest against Rahul Gandhi's arrest now seems to be turning like a boomerang on them with this statement made by their leader, and the Congress now left with no option than to distance itself from the entire controversy.
For the Congress to either distance itself or issue a statement whether they stand by this or not, because this is a statement made against the Prime Minister in this form and fashion in public domain by its leader. Anyway, we've got some breaking news coming in. Let's cut straight across to it. Breaking news coming in. Rahul Gandhi leaves the ED office. Rahul Gandhi leaves ED office after 3.5 hours of grilling by the Enforcement Directorate. This is his third day of grilling. In fact, last night he left the ED office way past 11:30 p.m. He was back again for the grilling by the Enforcement Directorate in the charges of money laundering in the National Herald case. He was grilled again for 3.5 hours today. This is his day 3 of grilling, and now he has left the ED office at the moment. Let's get you and show you the visuals of him leaving the ED office, the cavalcade of cars that are leaving the ED office. That's Rahul Gandhi. Let's bring those visuals also, and we'll also get our reporter to bring you up to speed with the very latest developments as far as the story is concerned. Supriya is now joining us for the very latest on the story. Supriya, 3.5 hours of grilling on day 3. Do we have any inside track? What are your ED sources saying? And is he going to be back post-lunch?
Well, Chetty, Congress party has sent a notice to Finance Minister Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman as well as Home Minister and the Law Minister. This is the latest breaking news we are bringing in. I have been joined by Mr. Nasir Hussain, Mr. Gaurav Gogoi and Mr. Pawan Khera. All three leaders are present here. Mr. Hussain, a legal notice has been sent by Mr. Vivek Tankha. What do you have to say on it, sir?
He has sent a cease and desist notice to all these 3 ministers in the union government, asking them not to interfere in the proceedings, and then he has also clearly mentioned the court judgments in that, which clearly says that they cannot humiliate, harass and keep on summoning any leaders of the opposition parties, and then politically misuse this entire not just the ED but also the other agencies of the central government.
Also, one quick question. There's a leader in Maharashtra who's given a statement. Mr. Surjewala has come out and condemned. What do you have to say on that statement given by the leader of yours in Maharashtra?
See, we in the Congress will not tolerate these kind of statements. We also condemn in the strongest terms that these kind of words, statements are not utilized for any political leader, and this kind of language is also not tolerated in Congress party. It is his personal statement, but nevertheless we condemn it in the strongest terms.
Right. We are also joined by Mr. Gaurav Gogoi. Mr. Gogoi, we have witnessed a massive showdown between the Delhi police and the Congress leaders. We also saw you sitting there outside the AICC headquarters and protesting near the gate. What exactly happened? Because Congress party is saying that Delhi police just barged into the headquarters of the party.
For the last 3 days, we have been seeing gross abuse of power. And we have seen how Delhi police and the Enforcement Directorate has become private agencies of the BJP and the RSS. Today, the Congress party workers is not safe even in his own headquarters. Police officials barged into the vicinity of the Congress party and dragged away and beat away Congress leaders and did not even spare journalists. All of this is on your camera. Now this is happening under the explicit instructions of Prime Minister and the Home Minister, who are ushering a Ravan Raj where there is absolutely no respect for the constitution and the process of democracy, and ordinary citizens are being threatened. Farmers, political parties, any voice of dissent is trying to be crushed, but we will not be cowed down and we will not be bowed down by this lathis and the bullets of Prime Minister and the Home Minister.
Mr. Gogoi, third time the ED has summoned Mr. Gandhi, and the third day when the questioning is happening, he has just left from the ED office. There's this information which is trickling out from the ED side. You guys have raised an objection asking 3 top ministers in the country what to make of the situation where your leaders are protesting outside, inside. The questioning is going on.
The way the ED has been behaving, its reputation has been shattered. And people are losing credibility and losing faith in the ED because of these plants or news plants or the spin or the way they are they're trying to harass Rahul Gandhi ji. But if they think that by continuously inviting Rahul Gandhi ji for 3 days of interrogation, they are going to mentally weaken him or he will be intimidated, then they're absolutely wrong. The resolve of Indian democracy, the resolve of the Indian people, the resolve of the Congress party is stronger than before. The more you try to crush us, the more we will become stronger.
Well, Mr. Pawan Khera, sir, first and foremost, what happened today? What do you have to say? Because Delhi police is saying nothing happened. We didn't enter the premises. You people have done a full-fledged press conference, released the video that Delhi police has entered the premises. On the other side, Delhi police is doing a press conference saying nothing happened.
It happened right in front of all of you. Your cameras have captured it. They entered, we all saw it. They entered the premises, beat up our workers and some journalists, roughed them up, dragged some of our workers. This is unprecedented. I've been living in this city for 22 years. I've never seen a scene like this.
Also, Mr. Khera, what do you have to say? Because at various places today, your leaders have been house detained in Delhi. A lot of leaders who are trying to enter, including Mr. Pilot, just have been detained. People are not being allowed to enter the AICC headquarters. What to make of it? You have been living in Delhi. You were part of the Delhi government during Sheila Dikshit era. What to make of the situation? Barricades have been put, roads have been closed, people are not being allowed. Your staff members were not being earlier allowed to enter the AICC headquarters. What do you have to say about that, sir?
Never before has Delhi seen such crushing of democracy which we are witnessing today. The last 3 days we've been struggling to reach our own office. Now, under what law? We've been asking the cops, please show us your instructions. Where is the order? They have no written order. Under what law can they stop me from entering my office or stop Mr. Gaurav Gogoi from entering his office? Why are they doing this? Why are they afraid? What are they afraid of?
Well, this is what the Congress party has to maintain on the entire matter, Chethi. This is the latest coming from the Congress headquarters, because outside it has turned into a fortress. Yeah. The Akbar Road, the Janpath, as well as that of the nearby area between the India Gate and the Khan Market.
Oh, no, absolutely. Thank you so much, Supriya, for getting all those reactions from the Congress leaders as well. Now, after back-to-back questioning on Monday and Tuesday, Rahul Gandhi was summoned for the third day by the ED. Rahul Gandhi reached the ED office and was accompanied by Priyanka Gandhi Vadra for the third day. Massive ruckus erupted outside the AICC headquarters and outside the ED office in solidarity with Rahul Gandhi. Images captured dozens of Congress leaders and workers in a tense standoff with Delhi police and other security personnel outside the party's headquarters on Akbar Road. One video showed women protesting on the roads, surrounded by police officers with lathis and shouting, Rahul Gandhi Zindabad. Cops were seen detaining several Congress netas while several protesters entered into a scuffle with the cops. The Congress leader has been questioned for 20 hours already since Monday. And according to ED sources, Rahul Gandhi has been evasive and tutored by lawyers. ED officials questioning Rahul are not satisfied with the answers of the former Congress president. The ED grilling has launched a war of words between the BJP and the Congress party, while the Congress has alleged that the action against Rahul is not justified and has called it political vendetta. BJP has rubbished these charges, calling it Congress's drama.
Rahul Gandhi is not... Look at the visuals. This is just outside the ED office, and this is nothing less than arsoning. Tires being burnt on a busy stretch of road, putting the traffic on a hold. Just look at these visuals. Now these protesters are running away. Sir, tires नहीं जला सकते. जला सकते आप ये मोदी साहब के. सर आप नहीं सर आप रास्ते पे ट्रैफिक में करने से मजबूर है हम लोग. क्या कर सकते हैं इसमें? क्यों ये इतने पुलिस लगा रखे आप उसको प्रोटेस्ट आप सत्याग्रह कह रहे हैं क्या? गांधी जी ने सत्याग्रह में टायर ऐसे में ये रॉन्ग है ना मैम? टायर्स जलाना भी गलत है. ये रॉन्ग नहीं है क्योंकि these protesters are refusing to understand the meaning of satyagraha. This is an extremely busy stretch. It has to be repeated that this kind of arsoning can actually put a risk of life because there are people crossing the busy stretch. There are cars at this busy stretch, but clearly these protesters over here do not have the basic understanding of a satyagraha as is being mentioned by the Congress workers. You can see tires being burnt on an extremely important stretch of the national capital.
मोदी सरकार और मोदी सरकार की पिट्ठू दिल्ली पुलिस अब गुंडागर्दी पर उतर आई है. उन्होंने गुंडागर्दी के और कानून की उल्लंघना के सारे आयाम, सारे नियम तोड़कर रख दिए हैं. वो कांग्रेस के मुख्यालय में, भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस के दफ्तर में जबरन कैसे घुस सकते हैं, कैसे किसी के घर के अंदर जाकर लाठीचार्ज कर सकते हैं. और चेतावनी है दिल्ली पुलिस के उन अधिकारियों को जो कठपुतली बनकर इस प्रकार का दुर्व्यवहार और गुंडागर्दी कर रहे हैं. निर्णय उनका भी होगा.
जिस प्रकार से हर कानून को तोड़ा जा रहा है और कोऑपरेट करने के बदले कॉन्फ्रंटेशन अपना रही है ऑल इंडिया करप्ट कमेटी और ऑल इंडिया कॉन्फ्रंटेशन कमेटी, ये दिखाता है कि पहले भ्रष्टाचार में जो 2000 करोड़ का गबन किया गया उस पर तो साइलेंस है, परंतु अब कोई इंटिमिडेशन कर दे, एजेंसीज को सवाल पूछने का मौका ना मिले, एजेंसीज को सच तक पहुंचने का मौका ना मिले, इसीलिए वायलेंस पर उतर आए हैं, हुलिगनिज्म पर उतर आए हैं, हुड़दंग पर उतर आए हैं कांग्रेस के कार्यकर्ता राहुल गांधी के इशारे पर.
जिस प्रकार की हरकतें विगत 3 दिनों से दिखाई पड़ रही हैं और हिंसा की आड़ लेकर भ्रष्टाचार को छुपाने का प्रयास हो रहा है, तो कितनी लघुता, कितना छोटापन नेतृत्व का दिखाई पड़ रहा है. यह साफ दिख जाता है कि गांधी के दौर से सोनिया गांधी जी और राहुल गांधी जी के दौर तक आते आते कांग्रेस कितनी छोटी और कितनी बौनी होती चली जा रही है.
The Delhi police today forcibly entered the national headquarters of Indian National Congress at Delhi, beat up workers and leaders. This is patently criminal trespass. The Gundaism of Modi government and Delhi police has reached its zenith. We are protesting peacefully in a Gandhian way, but this Gundaism is unacceptable. It will not be tolerated. It will be accounted for. We will remember, and the suitable action, both civil and criminal, will be taken.
पहले तो पार्टी की संपत्ति, पार्टी से जुड़े हुए ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की संपत्ति और धन अपने नाम किया. अब पार्टी कार्यालय को ही किसी भी प्रकार की उपद्रवीय एक्टिविटियों या इस प्रकार के आंदोलन जिसके कि अंदर आज आगजनी की भी समाचार आए हैं, उसका केंद्र बनाया. यह अपने आप में कांग्रेस के वास्तविक चरित्र को उजागर करता है.
कल पूरे देश के अंदर राजभवनों का घेराव भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस के लोग करेंगे, क्योंकि मोदी सरकार के इशारे पर यह हो रहा है और राजभवन जो है वो मोदी सरकार का प्रतिबिंब है। और परसों हर जिला मुख्यालय पर कांग्रेस के लोग प्रदर्शन करेंगे। जान ले मोदी जी, प्रजातंत्र की अवहेलना करने वालों की खैर नहीं।
Inside scoop of Rahul Gandhi's day 3 of ED grilling. Sources in the Enforcement Directorate have told India Today that Rahul is giving tutored answers, and that is why questioning is going at a very slow pace. The probe agency has said that Rahul, after giving the answers, is changing words in his statements that is causing further delays. Rahul wanted the quizzing to end yesterday but was summoned since several questions are still to be answered. The central agency asked around 25 to 30 questions to the Congress MP in the last 2 days. ED, that is probing link of shell companies for the transactions, is questioning Rahul on funds of Young Indian and the Associated Journals Limited. Heat continues to mount on Rahul Gandhi with another company, Dotex, now thrown into the mix. The BJP earlier dredged up Dotex, claiming that it is a Hawala company with links to the Gandhis. India Today has probed this Kolkata-based company to decode the link between Dotex and the National Herald case. The charge against Gandhis is that ₹1 crore of loan was taken from Dotex. But upon our investigation, we found out that the Kolkata-based company is registered but with no physical office, only a 3-room guest house. Smriti Irani claimed that Dotex Merchandise Private Limited is linked to a Hawala entry operator in Kolkata that gives out checks in exchange for cash. The political showdown has peaked when Smriti Irani alleged the company is linked to all the Gandhis.
The building that you can see in front of us is named Akash Deep. It's at number 5 Lower Rawdon Street, which is a very prime location of Kolkata. The area over here that you see, the property, it is a residential complex. However, Dotex Merchandise Private Limited is registered over here. Now the investigation is on. However, to know whether Dotex, is for real or not, we arrived over here, India Today arrived over here, and what we found was that yes, at the 4th flank, at the 3rd floor, is a particular flat, rather apartment, where this is the registered property of Dotex India, Dotex Merchandise Private Limited. Now when we went there, it did not look like an office. It was a guest house. It is a 3 BHK guest house. We spoke to the caretaker, who stated that people do come over here, the owners do come over here at certain times. However, when we went over there, no one apart from the caretaker was here. What he mentioned was that this is Dotex office for the past 20 years, and he has been working over here as a caretaker for a long time. However, it did not look to us like a registered office of a merchandise company. With camera person Kiranjeet, this is Suryagni Roy for India Today, Kolkata.
Dotex Merchandise Private Limited, हवाला एंट्री ऑपरेटर कोलकाता से संबंधित है, जो कैश के बदले चेक देती है, जिसकी ट्रांजैक्शंस पर फाइनेंशियल इंटेलिजेंस यूनिट का रेड फ्लैग है। जो कांग्रेस के कार्यकर्ता आज दिल्ली में एकत्रित हुए हैं, वो राहुल गांधी जी से पूछिए कि गांधी खानदान का संबंध डोटेक्स मर्चेंडाइज प्राइवेट लिमिटेड से क्या है।
Breaking news coming. Crucial opposition meeting on presidential poll set to begin. Mamata Banerjee is now leading the opposition meeting on the presidential polls. Akhilesh Yadav, Randeep Surjewala, Jairam Ramesh, Mallikarjun Kharge, Mehbooba Mufti, Omar Abdullah, Kumaraswamy, Priyanka Chaturvedi, they all arrive for this crucial meeting, which is an opposition meeting on the presidential polls, the upcoming presidential polls. Paulami Saha breaks the story first on India Today. Do we have her with us? All right, Paulami joins us now. Paulami, what I noticed is that names from TRS is missing. BJD, AIMIM, Aam Aadmi Party. Where are the leaders from these particular parties? If this is a crucial meeting of the opposition parties, I see these party leaders amiss, and please correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, Chetty, that's right. There have been, of course, notable arrivals over here at the Constitution Club in Delhi of political parties and their representatives who've come in for this very crucial meeting, which has been called by West Bengal Chief Minister and Trinamool Congress Chief Mamata Banerjee. But there are notable exceptions as well. The Aam Aadmi Party, which has been hobnobbing with the TMC for a while, seems to have cordial relations, is missing from this meeting. The TRS, again, is missing from this meeting. Earlier this morning, when we spoke to our sources within the TRS, we were told that the TRS doesn't want to be seen on the same platform with the Congress. Remember that the TRS is in fact facing off against the Congress party at the state level in Telangana, and also because it harbors national ambitions, it sees the Congress as its primary opponent in that contest against the Bharatiya Janata Party, because of which it has decided and chosen to stay away. The BJD, again a notable exception over here, has a sizable chunk of the votes in these presidential elections. With it, 43,000 of those votes. But we also do believe, again, while it has not been officially stated or confirmed by the BJD, we do believe that the BJD is likely to side with the Bharatiya Janata Party and the NDA. So the BJP has already sworn allegiance to the NDA faction as far as these presidential elections are concerned, because we know that Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik was in Delhi on a couple of occasions over the last couple of weeks. He met with the Prime Minister, and during the course of those meetings, there's a possibility that the BJD has already sworn allegiance and, of course, has given its support to the NDA. So these are some of the notable exceptions. As far as the YSRCP goes, Mamata Banerjee did not extend an invitation to the YSRCP, again a party which is believed to, in fact, is considered a fence sitter on most occasions. But we do believe that as far as these elections go, the YSRCP is likely to support the NDA's candidate. So while there are notable exceptions, we do know that Sharad Pawar is in there, the Congress has sent its representatives in there, and as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, what they're saying is we're waiting for the name of the candidate to be announced, and after that we will take a call, we'll make a decision as to whether we want to support that candidate or not.
All right, thank you so much, Paulami, for those extensive updates right there. We'll keep going back to Paulami Saha for updates coming in from this crucial meeting. We're slipping into a short commercial break here on India Today. But when we return, up next, Kerala gold scam fallout simmers. BJP takes to the streets against Pinarayi Vijayan.
You are watching India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com or call 9999892171. Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today, for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
You are watching India Today. You are watching India Today.
And the best memories are yet to come. I mean, I think doing this little press tour and going to the premiere and red carpets and seeing the people we got to work on together with, I mean, I think that's going to be really fun. I mean, it's exciting to get the role, but most of doing the movie, you're in a little sound booth. It's a very uneventful process that's full of self-doubt. So making the movie itself is pretty arduous.
The most exciting part for me was even just getting asked to do it. And then like just slowly, it builds and builds. And like, you know, I agree with Chris, being in the booth and recording I found kind of difficult because I just you never know. And you're seeing some drawings and none of the animation's really properly finished. And so a lot of guesswork. And then you start doing some press stuff and then some toys come out. And then some then you see Socks, the actual toy, and you start getting really excited. And the posters and the trailers, and it all builds and builds. But I feel like an audience member.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today, for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
You are watching India. You are watching India Today.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us here on India Today. Political temperatures continue to soar in Kerala over the gold scam that has cinched the Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. Today, BJP workers and supporters took to the streets in Thiruvananthapuram demanding the resignation of the Chief Minister of Kerala. This is coming in after the main accused in the scam, Swapna Suresh, alleged the involvement of the Chief Minister, his wife and daughter in the scam. Meanwhile, Swapna Suresh herself has declared that there is no question of withdrawing her statement against Pinarayi Vijayan. While the Chief Minister himself has denied the charge, he has also questioned the timing of Swapna's allegations.
The protest against Chief Minister in the gold smuggling case only seems to attain strength. As you can see in the visuals, the Yuva Morcha walked towards the Secretariat protesting against Chief Minister, demanding his resignation. They walked in huge numbers. Just before the Yuva Morcha walked towards the Secretariat, there was a BJP councillors protesting against the CM outside the Secretariat, and the Yuva Morcha walked towards the Secretariat, and the police and them had a tussle. They were pushing each other. They were trying to take some workers were also injured in the process. It was raining heavily some time back, but the rain did not stop them from protesting. The Yuva Morcha has said that they will continue the protest until the Chief Minister resigns. Water cannons were also fired at them. Tear gases were also used to disperse the crowd. The Yuva Morcha workers divided themselves into two and went to one side, and they protested on the other side of the Secretariat, and they came this side and also protested on this side also. Yesterday we saw Congress protesting against Chief Minister, and today we are seeing the Yuva Morcha coming out in large numbers demanding Chief Minister's resignation. They were reciting slogans not only against Chief Minister but also against his family members, his wife and his daughter, whose names were also taken by the prime accused Swapna Suresh in the case. They are now moving towards the police van. Some workers were injured and they're moving towards that side. The picture here is pretty clear with all the three parties on the ground. The Congress and the BJP determined to make sure that the Chief Minister resign, and they said that they will continue this protest until the Chief Minister resign. And the CPIM and its allies have said that they will have their full support. They will give their full support to Chief Minister in this case. With video journalist Rinku Rajashekaran, this is Shubhi KG reporting for India Today from Thiruvananthapuram.
A teenager in Bengal has been arrested for a social media post against rioters. That's right, a post where she condemned the rioters. This is a 19-year-old Aishwini who has been put behind bars because she put up a post on social media saying that rioters must be thrown out of the country. Her post prompted angry rioters to pelt stones at a police station in Howrah and targeted the teenager's house, and the cops responded not by cracking down on violent rioters, but by jailing this teenager for her post. This is the third such incident of intolerance that's been reported. In Uddhav Thackeray's Maharashtra, teenager Saad Ansari was arrested after he posted a comment backing Nupur Sharma. In Stalin's Tamil Nadu, a 24-year-old has been arrested for supporting Nupur Sharma, and now this incident of a teenager being arrested for demanding action against the rioters. This time, it is happening in Mamata Banerjee's Bengal.
এখানকার মুসলিমরা এসে এরকম করে অত্যাচার করে বাড়ি ভাঙচুর, অনেক কটা বাড়ি ভাঙচুর করেছে, এভাবে ভাঙচুর করেছে, ওকে গ্রেপ্তার করেছে, গ্রেপ্তার করে নিয়ে গিয়ে ওকে অ্যারেস্ট করে গিয়ে বহরমপুরে, ওই তো ওই সব লিখেছে, হ্যাঁ ফেসবুকে যেগুলো লিখেছে সেইগুলোর অনুসারে ওকে গ্রেপ্তার করেছে। এটা তো ভালো জিনিসই লিখেছে, এটা তো খারাপ কিছু লেখেনি। এটা খারাপ কি লিখেছে? খারাপ কিছু যদি লিখতো, যে যদি কোনো উল্লেখ করে কিছু যদি লিখতো, যদি যে কোনো সাম্প্রদায়িক দল বা কোনো ভাই সাহেব মুসলমান, হ্যাঁ এই হিসাবে যদি ও লিখতো তাহলে এটা আলাদা ব্যাপার ছিল। এটা তো ঠিকই লিখেছে, এটাতে কিছু খারাপ কিছু লিখিনি। এটা
পুলিশ তো পরে এসেছে, আমরা যখন মানে এরকম হয় ভিতরটায় তালা মেরে আমাদের তখন বাড়ি ছেড়ে চলে যেতে হলো, প্রাণটা চলে যাওয়ার মতন হয়েছিল। মানে আমরা তখন সব তালা মেরে মানে ভিতরে, এই আমার এটা জায়ের বাড়িতে গিয়ে আমরা আশ্রয় নিই। আমি তো ভেবেছিলাম যে আমরা আর বাঁচতে পারবো না, মানে যা অবস্থা হয়েছিল যে পরের দিন যে আমরা বাঁচবো, আত্মীয় স্বজন ফোন করছে, মানে আমাদের কি গিয়েছে আমরা জানি, এইটুকুন বলতে পারবো। আর কিছু কি বলবো দাদা। তারপরে তো পুলিশ যদি না আসতো ওই 10 মিনিটে, যে আরো অনেক কিছু হতে পারত। পুলিশ হয়তো 1 ঘন্টা 1.5 ঘন্টা পরে এসছে পুলিশ। এই যে কাঁচটা এগুলো মিটার, তারপরে এই যে দরজা তো মানে আর 10 মিনিট যদি হতো দরজা ভেঙে ওরা ভিতরে ঢুকে পড়তো। বাপরে, আমরা লাইট দিয়ে দরজা বন্ধ করে আমরা ঘরে ছিলাম বসে, লাইট ফ্যান বন্ধ করে ঘরে বসছিলাম।
কতক্ষণ ধরে চলে এই পরিস্থিতি?
1 ঘন্টা 1.5 ঘন্টা তো হবে, 1 ঘন্টা 1.5 ঘন্টা হবে।
পুলিশ আসেনি?
পুলিশ সব শেষ হওয়ার পর রাত্রে পুলিশ এসছে।
India Today's Ritik now gets you a ground report on how rioters targeted a police station in Howrah after Ashwini's post slamming these violent protesters.
We are at the Beldanga police station, which is the second spot of the violence which erupted on Saturday. Now we are showing you as the glass windows of this particular police station has been completely, demolished, and several glass windows have been broken because of the stone pelting. And now a heavy police deployment has been done in that particular area. Situation in Rajinagar as well as in Beldanga is simmering. The internet suspension has been has been going on, and we are given to understand at least 6 people have been arrested as of now for their alleged involvement in this violence. And as we can see that a police vehicle has been deployed at the entry point of the police station, which is why that they can take the force forward if any sporadic violence erupted or news of any sporadic violence coming from any parts of Rajinagar or in Beldanga. With camera person Tapush Barry, this is Ritik from Murshidabad for India Today.
Man arrested for supporting Nupur Sharma's controversial remarks. Former ABVP man arrested for social media post supporting Nupur Sharma's controversial video and reiterating it. Cybercrime unit of Coimbatore police arrested 24-year-old Karthi from Senanur for sharing Nupur Sharma's controversial video. with the comment, and I quote, "We'll repeat this every day. What did Nupur Sharma say wrong? She only said what was written," unquote. Cases for promoting communal enmity and breaching IT Act have been registered against Karthi, while the post has been deleted. Earlier, a 19-year-old youth, Saad Ansari, was assaulted and arrested for posing beheading threat against Nupur. Punjab police has got 7-day custody of Lawrence Bishnoi, the suspected mastermind behind Sidhu Moosewala's murder. Punjab police took gangster Lawrence Bishnoi to Crime Investigation Agency in Punjab's Kharar, where he is being grilled by SIT and the Anti-Gangster Task Force in connection with his role in Singer's murder case. Commandos have been deployed for Bishnoi's security. Bishnoi was produced in Delhi's Patiala House Court after his custody with Delhi police in Arms Act case ended. He's been lodged in Tihar jail and facing cases in multiple states. Punjab police submitted on Tuesday that the arrested accused had said Lawrence Bishnoi was behind the murder.
Gangster Lawrence Bishnoi has been brought to this CIA police station in Mohali. He was escorted by nearly 100 cops in 24 vehicles, which also included 2 bulletproof vehicles. Punjab police got a 7-day custody of this gangster, who was brought on 1-day transit remand. He was produced in the Mansa court, which remanded him to police custody. Though the gangster, during the Delhi police questioning, has not confessed that he is behind Sidhu Moosewala's murder conspiracy, but Punjab police is suspecting that he is the mastermind. During this 7-day questioning, police will try to find out answers to various questions. Whether the conspiracy to kill Sidhu Moosewala was hatched in the jail? What is the connection of Goldie Bharat? Was Goldie Bharat hired by the Lawrence Bishnoi or anybody else is involved in this murder? Police will try to find out answers to these questions. With camera person Aman Gupta, this is Manjeet Sehgal in Mohali for India Today.
अभी भी जो पूरी कॉन्स्पिरेसी है सिद्धू मूसेवाला की, उसका खुलासा अभी तक नहीं हो पाया है। शायद इसी वजह से, चूंकि पंजाब पुलिस के पास ये जांच थी, इसलिए मास्टरमाइंड बार-बार लॉरेंस बिश्नोई को बताया जा रहा था। दिल्ली पुलिस ने भी अपनी जांच में ये बताया कि लॉरेंस बिश्नोई ही सिद्धू मूसेवाला की हत्या का मास्टरमाइंड है। लिहाजा पंजाब पुलिस ने लॉरेंस बिश्नोई की कस्टडी ली है, 7 दिन की पुलिस कस्टडी मिली है। जो भारी भरकम सुरक्षा आप देख पा रहे हो, क्योंकि अदालत ने भी कहा था कि लॉरेंस बिश्नोई की सुरक्षा पुख्ता की जाए, एश्योरेंस दिया जाए, क्योंकि लॉरेंस बिश्नोई ने भी अदालत में दिल्ली के ये अपनी आशंका जताई थी कि उसका एनकाउंटर हो सकता है या विरोधी गैंग के लोग उसे पंजाब में मार सकते हैं, जिसके बाद कोर्ट के आदेश के बाद आप देख पा रहे हैं किस तरह की सुरक्षा व्यवस्था है। अब यहाँ पर लॉरेंस बिश्नोई से एसआईटी के जो अधिकारी हैं वो पूछताछ करेंगे कि सिद्धू मूसेवाला की हत्या में कौन कौन लोग शामिल हैं, किस तरह से इस पूरे हत्याकांड को अंजाम दिया गया। कैमरामैन अंकित खंडेलवाल के साथ अरविंद ओझा, मोहाली। लॉरेंस बिश्नोई को 7 दिन की कस्टडी में आपके पास रखा गया है, किस तरह की उसकी सिक्योरिटी है अभी?
देखिए, सिक्योरिटी तो हम उसकी जो जैसे कोर्ट ने एडवाइस किया हुआ है उसकी प्रॉपर हम सिक्योरिटी लगा रहे हैं और लगाई भी हुई है। तो अभी तो जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन है वो एसआईटी में ही करेगी उसको। फिलहाल उसकी जो हम सिक्योरिटी ही लगा रहे हैं उसको।
तो किस तरह की सिक्योरिटी है? क्या कमांडो
आप देख सकते हैं, बिल्कुल सिक्योरिटी उसकी इसके लिए जो है सफिशिएंट सिक्योरिटी हम कर रहे हैं। उसमें कमांडो भी है, उसमें लोकल है, उसमें हमारी जो पैरामिलिट्री है वो भी है। तो सिक्योरिटी
एसआईटी के अधिकारी अभी आ गए?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल आ रहे हैं।
Punjab police has got the custody of suspected mastermind behind Sidhu Moosewala's murder, Lawrence Bishnoi. India Today has exclusively accessed information about the questions Punjab police plans to ask the gangster during his interrogation. Here's a report.
Lawrence Bishnoi, the suspected mastermind behind Sidhu Moosewala's murder, is in Punjab police's custody. The Patiala House Court in Delhi gave Bishnoi's custody to Punjab police on Tuesday. Bishnoi had cited threat of encounter by the state police.
इनको सामने से जो है पूरी एश्योरेंस देनी पड़ेगी, बाकायदा एफिडेविट दाखिल करना पड़ेगा, ये मेरी डिमांड है, जिसके अंदर बाकायदा हर 12 घंटे में इसका मेडिकल हो और इसको बाकायदा बुलेट गाड़ी में लेके जाया जाए, इसकी पूरी जान माल सुरक्षा की जाए। इसके साथ में सीनियर पुलिस ऑफिसर जो हैं इस पूरे ऑपरेशन को वॉच करें। इसको जहां से लेके जाना है तो ड्यूली हैंडकफ और शैकल्स यानी प्रॉपर हथकड़ियाँ और बेड़ियाँ लगा के ले जाया जाए और उसी में प्रोड्यूस किया जाए, जिससे कि कल पंजाब पुलिस को या किसी को कोई एक्सक्यूज ना मिल सके कि इसने भागने की कोशिश की। हमारी ये खुद डिमांड है कि हमें हथकड़ियाँ बेड़ियाँ लगा के ले आ जाए।
India Today has exclusively accessed information about the questions Punjab police plans to ask the gangster during his interrogation. Bishnoi will be grilled on the motive for the murder. The police will ask Bishnoi about the shooters who pumped 18 bullets into Moosewala. They will also interrogate him on murder threat allegedly issued to Bollywood superstar Salman Khan. Bishnoi will be grilled on his connection to the Canada-based gangster Goldie Brar, who had taken responsibility for Moosewala's murder. The police sources have claimed the murder case is cracked. Bishnoi's interrogation will be key for the police to build a solid case in the Moosewala murder. Bureau Report, India Today.
Big breaking news coming in. Shocking visuals from Tumkaru district in Karnataka. A Dalit leader hacked to death in broad daylight. Narasimha Murthy, a DSS leader, was attacked by armed men and murdered at Gubbi village in Tumakuru today. Police have now visited the spot and started the investigation. We'll bring you the latest as far as where the investigation stands and who they suspect the perpetrators of this murder are. But this is a big shocking news coming in at the moment. A Dalit leader murdered in broad daylight. He's been hacked to death in Tumkaru. Questions arising on the law and order situation in Karnataka as well. Questions arising on who the perpetrators were, or why this crime was committed and who committed this crime, and where does the investigation stand. We'll continue following up on the story because the details will continue to emerge. The story is just breaking at the moment and the visuals are out about Dalit leader being hacked to death in broad daylight in Karnataka. Narasimha Murthy, DSS leader, attacked by armed men and murdered at Gubbi village in Tumakuru today. Slipping into a break. When we return, shocker from Congress Neta Sheikh Hussain says Prime Minister will die the death of a street dog. FIR registered. Details in just a bit.
You are watching India Today.
India Today TV wins big at NT Awards 2022. Bags 14 most coveted awards. TV news presenter male Rahul Kanwal. Business news anchor female Abha Bakaya. Best news debate show News Track. Best talk show To the Point. Daily news bulletin News Today. TV news reporter Ashutosh Mishra. Sports special Go for Gold. Best use of graphics by a news channel, State of War 2021 elections, and many more. With 37 awards for the India Today group, the most credible network is also the most awarded. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now.
You are watching India Today.
The Indian Air Force plans to build around 100 advanced fighter jets in India. This effort will be part of the Modi government's Make in India initiative. For the first time, Indian currency will be used to make payments for almost 70% of the project. The Indian Air Force has also said that 96 out of these jets will be built indigenously while the rest will be imported. The Indian Air Force has plans to buy 114 fighter aircraft. These jets will replace the aging fleet of MiG series fighters. The first 18 jets in the project will be imported from the home base of a foreign vendor. Companies like Boeing, Lockheed Martin, RAC MiG, Dassault and Saab are all eyeing the project. The French fighter Rafale, already in service, is believed to be one of the frontrunners to win this deal. Boeing's F-15EX, Lockheed Martin's F-21 and Saab's JAS-39 Gripen E are also worthy contenders, as is the Eurofighter Typhoon. The Indian Air Force had first floated a tender to procure 126 new combat jets from foreign sellers in 2007. After many issues during the tender procedure in 2015, the so-called MMRCA contest was cancelled. For the Indian Air Force to maintain its operational capabilities, the government instead acquired just 36 Rafale fighters. India has got its first lot of Rafale fighters, with India-specific enhancements making them much deadlier. However, the indigenous Tejas fighter is being deployed for a multi-nation exercise abroad for the very first time.
Presented by Berger Easy Clean. No dag, no dhabba, only beautiful walls.
Watching India Today.
Very good evening and thanks so much for being with us here on India Today. I'm Chaiti Narula bringing you all the top stories. Let's start with the headlines first. Shocker from Congress Neta Sheikh Hussain amidst party satyagraha for Rahul, says Prime Minister will die the death of a street dog. FIR registered against defiant Neta who refuses to apologize.
जो काम करना है वो छोड़कर ये फालतू के काम करना बंद करो, नहीं तो नरेंद्र मोदी तेरा वही हाल होगा। फिर आप क्या बोलेंगे कि जैसे कुत्ते की मौत होती है ऐसे नरेंद्र मोदी की मौत होगी।
Day 3 of Rahul Gandhi's grilling. ED sources say Rahul's tutored answers slowing down questioning. Congress cadres set tires ablaze outside ED office in BVIP, Delhi. Kerala gold scam fallout simmers. BJP takes to the streets against Chief Minister Vijayan. Water cannons used against protester. Accused Swapna, defiant, says won't withdraw the statement. Big blow to Mamta's Rasina race. AAP and TRS skipped the meeting. Pawar says no to be the joint opposition nominee. Left proposes Mahatma's grandson, I beg your pardon. Saad Ansari rerun in Tamil Nadu. ABVP man arrested in Coimbatore for backing Nupur Sharma. Bengal teen behind bars for opposing the rioters. Singer Moosewala murder secrets set to unravel. Punjab cops get gangster Lawrence Bishnoi's custody. Murder threat to Salman Khan also being probed. Breaking news coming in. The Congress Neta is now defiant after abusing Prime Minister Modi, and this was in a public forum that he abused Prime Minister Modi. We've got that bite. We'll run that out for you, just for you to hear what he exactly said. Now the Congress Neta has said, what should I apologize for? Instead, he's demanding apology from the Prime Minister. It's bizarre. That's the breaking news that is coming in at the moment. Listen in to what he has said.
मेरे दिल में कोई मलाल नहीं, मैंने कुछ गलत भी नहीं बोला और मैंने कोई ऐसी गलती की ही नहीं. मैंने एक मुहावरा दिया सिर्फ, वो समझे क्या? उसमें कोई गलत नहीं है. प्रधानमंत्री वो सबके, हमारे भी है, हमारे दिल में भी उनके प्रति इज्जत है. ऐसा तो नहीं है ना. मुहावरा था, मैंने मुहावरे में बोल दिया, बोला. उससे तो कई आपत्तिजनक चीज़ें रोज़ टीवी पे, व्हाट्सएप पे, फेसबुक पे कई बातें बोलते हैं. क्यों नहीं करते बीजेपी वाले, जाके उनको पकड़ते, उनसे क्यों नहीं बात करते, क्यों नहीं उनको गिरफ्तार करते? मैंने कुछ बोला नहीं तो एक पूरी नागपुर शहर के माहौल को, अमन और शांति का शहर है, उसको क्यों खराब करना चाहते हैं आप?
Arun Bhalekar is now joining us for the latest. Arun, what I do not understand is if he has gone ahead and abused the Prime Minister in public domain, instead of apologizing, he's demanding apology from the Prime Minister. What should the Prime Minister apologize to him for?
Yes, after this controversial statement made by Sheikh Hussain in Nagpur yesterday, today Congress, all the Congress leaders actually hit the roads and they were protesting near Gandhi Bhavan, which is a party office in Kolaba in Mumbai. We can see all the Congress leaders have gathered here and they were also protesting against Prime Minister Narendra Modi and BJP and the alleged attack which has happened at the Delhi headquarters of Congress. We've spoke to the party president of Maharashtra, Nana Patole. He very conveniently has cornered the party's stand from the statement which is being made by Sheikh Hussain. Nana Patole says that he doesn't have any idea about any such remark made about PM Modi, but if the FIR has been registered, he is saying that the Maharashtra is doing its job, police is doing its job, and the investigation will take its due course and no one will be spared. At the same time, Nana Patole is also trying to again point out that how Nupur Sharma had made remarks and how India has to apologize to the Arab countries. So again, they are not anywhere in the apologizing mood, and we can see that they are still aggressively protesting on the streets of Mumbai.
All right, thanks so much for joining us with those details right there. A Maharashtra Congress Neta's abusive rant against the Prime Minister is a new low in Indian politics. While participating in a satyagraha in support of Rahul Gandhi, Congress leader Sheikh Hussain declared that the Prime Minister will die like a street dog. As Congress cadres burned tires in the capital, its netas spewed venom in Nagpur. Hussain has now been booked. He is charged under IPC section 294 that relates to obscene acts and 504 IPC for intentional insult with intent to provoke breach of peace. BJP has slammed this hate speech by the Congress neta. We're getting some reactions listening.
पार्टी का हर एक कार्यकर्ता, चाहे वो बड़ा हो या छोटा हो, वो राहुल गांधी के साथ में है, वो कांग्रेस के साथ में है, यहाँ पर डरता है, वो इस तरह से लेट गए हैं।
नरेंद्र मोदी, तुमको लोगों ने देश को विकास करने के लिए दिया है। 70 साल में कांग्रेस ने किया है, उसी को बेच कर तुम देश चला रहे हो। तुम कुछ कर नहीं रहे। ये फालतू के काम करना बंद करो, नहीं तो नरेंद्र मोदी तेरा वही हाल होगा। फिर आप क्या बोलेंगे कि जैसे की मौत होती है ऐसे नरेंद्र मोदी की मौत होगी।
We demand action against this immediately by the Maharashtra police. He should be arrested, and the Congress party must tell us that is it because they are silent on the 2,000 crore money heist done by the Agency of Young Indians of the AJL and of National Herald that now the Congress leaders are becoming violent and are trying to take hostage the streets of Mumbai, Delhi and other parts and are trying to intimidate the agency?
देखिए, इस प्रकार के घृणित बयान प्रतिक्रिया के योग्य नहीं है, परंतु यह कांग्रेस की क्षुद्रता और मानसिक स्तर की सीमा तक पहुंच गया है। यह उसका क्रमशः प्रमाण है। यह केवल एक घटना नहीं है। 2007 में सोनिया जी ने मौत के सौदागर बोला था। 2014 में मोदी जी की बोटी बोटी काटने का आह्वान किया गया और आज यह बोला गया, तो यह कांग्रेस की वास्तविक मानसिकता कितने निचले और छिछले स्तर पर आती जा रही है उसका प्रमाण।
After back-to-back questioning on Monday and Tuesday, Rahul Gandhi was summoned for the third day by the Enforcement Directorate. Rahul Gandhi reached the ED office and was accompanied by Prayagraj Gandhi for the third day. Massive ruckus erupted outside the AICC headquarters and outside the ED office in solidarity with Rahul Gandhi. Images captured dozens of Congress leaders and workers in a tense standoff with Delhi police and other security personnel outside the party's headquarters on Akbar Road. One video showed women protesting on the road surrounded by police officers with lathis and shouting Rahul Gandhi Zindabad. Cops were seen detaining several Congress netas while several protesters entered into a scuffle with the cops. The Congress leader has been questioned for 20 hours already since Monday. According to ED sources, Rahul has been evasive and tutored by the lawyers. ED officials questioning Rahul are not satisfied with the answers of the former Congress president. The ED grilling has launched a war of words between the BJP and Congress. Congress has alleged that the action against Rahul is not justified, called it a political vendetta by the BJP. BJP has rubbished these charges, called it Congress's drama.
जिस प्रकार की हरकतें विगत 3 दिनों से दिखाई पड़ रही हैं और हिंसा की आड़ लेकर भ्रष्टाचार को छुपाने का प्रयास हो रहा है, तो कितनी लघुता, कितना छोटापन नेतृत्व का दिखाई पड़ रहा है। यह साफ दिख जाता है कि गांधी के दौर से सोनिया गांधी जी और राहुल गांधी जी के दौर तक आते आते कांग्रेस कितनी छोटी और कितनी बौनी होती चली जा रही है।
The Delhi police today forcibly entered the national headquarters of Indian National Congress at Delhi, beat up workers and leaders. This is patently criminal trespass. The Gundaism of Modi government and Delhi police has reached its zenith. We are protesting peacefully in a Gandhian way, but this Gundaism is unacceptable. It will not be tolerated. It will be accounted for. We will remember, and the suitable action, both civil and criminal, will be taken.
पहले तो पार्टी की संपत्ति, पार्टी से जुड़े हुए ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की संपत्ति और धन अपने नाम किया। अब पार्टी कार्यालय को ही किसी भी प्रकार की उपद्रवीय एक्टिविटियों या इस प्रकार के आंदोलन जिसके कि अंदर आज आगजनी की भी समाचार आए हैं, उसका केंद्र बनाया। यह अपने आप में कांग्रेस के वास्तविक चरित्र को उजागर करता है।
कल पूरे देश के अंदर राजभवनों का घेराव भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस के लोग करेंगे, क्योंकि मोदी सरकार के इशारे पर यह हो रहा है और राजभवन जो है वो मोदी सरकार का प्रतिबिंब है। और परसों हर जिला मुख्यालय पर कांग्रेस के लोग प्रदर्शन करेंगे। जान ले मोदी जी, प्रजातंत्र की अवहेलना करने वालों की खैर नहीं।
मोदी सरकार और मोदी सरकार की पिट्ठू दिल्ली पुलिस अब गुंडागर्दी पर उतर आई है। उन्होंने गुंडागर्दी के और कानून की उल्लंघना के सारे आयाम, सारे नियम तोड़कर रख दिए हैं। वो कांग्रेस के मुख्यालय में भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस के दफ्तर में जबरन कैसे घुस सकते हैं, कैसे किसी के घर के अंदर जाकर लाठीचार्ज कर सकते हैं। और चेतावनी है दिल्ली पुलिस के उन अधिकारियों को जो कठपुतली बनकर इस प्रकार का दुर्व्यवहार और गुंडागर्दी कर रहे हैं, निर्णय उनका भी होगा।
जिस प्रकार से हर कानून को तोड़ा जा रहा है और कोऑपरेट करने के बदले कॉन्फ्रंटेशन अपना रही है ऑल इंडिया करप्ट कमेटी और ऑल इंडिया कॉन्फ्रंटेशन कमेटी, ये दिखाता है कि पहले भ्रष्टाचार में जो 2000 करोड़ का गबन किया गया उस पर तो साइलेंस है, परंतु अब कोई इंटिमिडेशन कर दे, एजेंसीज को सवाल पूछने का मौका ना मिले, एजेंसीज को सच तक पहुंचने का मौका ना मिले, इसीलिए वायलेंस पर उतर आए हैं, हुलिगनिज्म पर उतर आए हैं, हुड़दंग पर उतर आए हैं कांग्रेस के कार्यकर्ता राहुल गांधी के इशारे पर।
Unprecedented, मतलब they have entered our party office also. Someday they may come to our house inside and started torturing us. What is this? पार्टी मुख्यालय के अंदर पुलिस दाखिल हुई। ये तो आप देख रहे हैं कांग्रेस कार्यकर्ता तानाशाही की चरम सीमा पर पहुंच चुके हैं। ये क्या चाहते हैं ये पता नहीं। ये क्या बनाना रिपब्लिक बन गया क्या? कि यहाँ ये क्या हमारे प्रजातंत्र की कोई कुछ बचे नहीं।
You can stop me from going to my office, All India Congress Committee office, but whether you can stop me from going to Parliament, I'm going to the Parliament and I'll protest against this injustice, the insult to the Parliament members by Amit Shah and the cabinet.
ये लड़ाई सत्य के लिए है, इसीलिए हम सत्याग्रह कर रहे हैं। किसी ढंग से वो हमारे नेता को, हमारे पार्टी को डिमोरलाइज करने के लिए, हरासमेंट करने के लिए ये कोशिश कर रहे हैं, लेकिन हम बड़े मजबूत हैं। इनके प्रश्नों से, इनके डराने से हम डरने वाले नहीं।
टारगेट किसको बनाएंगे? आज देश का तमाम विपक्षी पार्टी मान गई, देशवासी मान गए, एकमात्र राहुल गांधी है जो मोदी जी और उनकी सरकार का मुकाबला कर रहा है। अब तो जितने आप लोग लिख रहे हैं आर्टिकल उसमें आने लग गया है एक व्यक्ति का नाम राहुल गांधी जो लगातार मुकाबला कर रहा है, और उन्हीं को मोदी जी, अमित शाह जी टारगेट बनाए हुए हैं।
तो मैं तो केंद्र सरकार से मांग करता हूँ, ईडी से भी ये मांग करता हूँ कि वहाँ सारे मीडिया हाउस के कैमरा लगा दिए जाए, जो सवाल उसके हैं और राहुल जी जो जवाब दे रहे हैं पूरा देश सुने, जाने, समझें और वो तय करें कि सच क्या है। यदि हमने नेशनल हेराल्ड को बचाने का अपराध किया तो हम अपराधी हैं।
क्यों नहीं मोदी शाह जी फैसला दे देते हैं? इतनी भूमिका क्यों बांध रहे हैं? आपने पूरी दिल्ली को जाम करके रखा हुआ है, हर जगह पे जाम रखा हुआ है, इतना भय क्यों? हम तो सारी महिलाएं सिंपल तरीके से शांति से लाइन बना के ईडी ऑफिस तक जाना चाह रहे थे। ये इतना भय किस लिए है? आज इस तरह की लोकतंत्र में ये राजतंत्र किस लिए चलाया जा रहा है?
Breaking news coming in. Sachin Pilot detained by the police from outside the Enforcement Directorate office is what we're picking up at this point of time. He was detained amidst huge protests that broke out in the national capital over Rahul Gandhi's questioning by the Enforcement Directorate in an alleged money laundering case linked to the National Herald newspaper. In fact, we'll get you more details in terms of what really happened over there, but you can see Sachin Pilot being detained right there. He's been surrounded by cops, and there was a Congress protest outside the ED office, and Sachin Pilot has been detained now from outside ED office. The inside scoop of Rahul Gandhi's day 3 of ED grilling. Sources in ED have told India Today that Rahul is giving tutored answers, and that's why questioning is going at a slow pace. The probe agency said that Rahul, after giving the answers, was changing words in his statements. That's causing further delays. Rahul wanted the quizzing to end yesterday but was summoned since several questions are yet to be answered. The central agency has asked around 25 to 30 questions to the Congress MP in the last 2 days. ED, that is probing the link of shell companies for transactions, is questioning Rahul on funds of Young Indian and the Associated Journals Limited. The heat continues to mount on Rahul Gandhi with another company, Dotex, now being thrown into the mix. The BJP had earlier dredged up Dotex, claiming it is a Hawala company with links to the Gandhis. India Today probes this Kolkata-based company to decode the link between Dotex and the National Herald case. The charge against the Gandhis is that 1 crore rupees loan was taken from Dotex. But upon our investigation, the Kolkata-based company is registered with no physical office. That's what we found out, with only a 3-room guest house. Smriti Irani claimed that Dotex Merchandise Private Limited is linked to a Hawala entry operator in Kolkata that gives checks in exchange for cash. The political showdown peaked when Smriti Irani alleged that the company is linked to all the Gandhis.
The building that you can see in front of us is named Akashdeep. It's at number 5 Lower Rawdon Street, which is a very prime location of Kolkata. The area over here that you see, the property, it is a residential complex. However, Dotex Merchandise Private Limited is registered over here. Now, the investigation is on. However, to know whether Dotex, is for real or not, we arrived over here, India Today arrived over here, and what we found was that yes, at the 4th flank, at the 3rd floor, is a particular flat, rather apartment, where this is the registered property of Dotex India, Dotex Merchandise Private Limited. Now, when we went there, it did not look like an office. It was a guest house. It is a 3 BHK guest house. We spoke to the caretaker, who stated that people do come over here, the owners do come over here at certain times. However, when we went over there, no one apart from the caretaker was here. What he mentioned was that this is Dotex office for the past 20 years, and he has been working over here as a caretaker for a long time. However, it did not look to us like a registered office of a merchandise company. With camera person Kiranjit, this is Suryagni Roy for India Today, Kolkata.
Dotex Merchandise Private Limited, हवाला एंट्री ऑपरेटर कोलकाता से संबंधित है, जो कैश के बदले चेक देती है, जिसकी ट्रांजैक्शंस पर फाइनेंशियल इंटेलिजेंस यूनिट का रेड फ्लैग है। जो कांग्रेस के कार्यकर्ता आज दिल्ली में एकत्रित हुए हैं, वो राहुल गांधी जी से पूछिए कि गांधी खानदान का संबंध डोटेक्स मर्चेंडाइज प्राइवेट लिमिटेड से क्या है।
All eyes on upcoming presidential polls now. TMC Supremo Mamata Banerjee leads the key opposition meeting that has begun in the national capital. Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav, Congress leaders Randeep Surjewala, Mallikarjun Kharge are attending this meeting. Political stalwarts Mehbooba Mufti, Sharad Pawar, they are also attending the meeting. Omar Abdullah, Priyanka Chaturvedi, Kumaraswamy also attending this meeting. The meeting has been called by West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. It's being called to formulate a joint strategy for the upcoming presidential polls. In a big blow to Mamata's meeting, TRS and Aam Aadmi Party are skipping the meeting of the opposition parties. And according to sources, the TRS does not want to share a platform with the Congress. The AAP, on the other hand, said that the issue will be considered only after the candidate for the upcoming election is declared. At the meeting, name of Gopalakrishna Gandhi, grandson of Mahatma Gandhi and former West Bengal governor, was suggested, according to sources. Pawar was not keen on the suggestion. Gopalakrishna Gandhi, speaking exclusively to India Today, has said that he was approached by the left parties for the presidential candidature. He added that he needed some time to take a call on such a crucial decision. India Today's Nagarjun exclusively spoke to former Karnataka Chief Minister Kumaraswamy on the presidential polls. Kumaraswamy confirmed that they are attending the opposition meeting arranged by TMC Supremo Mamata Banerjee. Listen in.
Sir, the JDS also is attending the meeting today called by several national leaders. Mamata Banerjee has propped up Sharad Pawar's name, and the left has given name of Gopal Krishna Gandhi. Where does the JDS stand, sir?
No, we don't know. Actually, Madam Mamata Banerjee invited father and myself. to attend the meeting.
Yes, sir.
What is the meeting outcome? All those things we can react after 3 o'clock only.
Okay.
After the meeting. Now we have no idea about what is their decision in the outcome of the meeting also.
Okay.
How all opposition leaders they will going to behave in this issue.
Okay.
How it will work it out. We don't know actually. In the meeting, what are the issues it will come.
Okay.
After that only I can react, brother.
Sir, but personally, as a former chief minister, you think Sharad Pawar is a good candidate or Mr. Gopal Krishna Gandhi is a good candidate? Who do you think is your choice, sir?
At this juncture, who will be better, who will be bad, I don't know. But only thing, the way this country is going on now.
Yes, sir.
For that, actually, very strong president is required for this country to save the democracy and constitution.
For that, you need a strong individual also, you feel?
Important. Yeah. Not rubber stamp president will not going to work out.
Okay.
Individually with strong decisions, if we advise and guide the government,
okay,
or the way in which this government is going on, that kind of hard president we required at this juncture.
Sir,
very badly.
Last question, sir. JDS also in this 3 o'clock meeting will put forward their opinion, their point of view.
We have small number, brother. Our role is very negligible.
Okay.
Our role is negligible, but how all opposition, our regional party leaders and opposition main parties,
yes, sir,
how they will going to take decision.
You will support them.
Let us see, brother. Oh, definitely, as a small group we can support.
Slipping into a break, when we return, Kerala gold scam fallout simmers. BJP takes to the streets against Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan.
You are watching India Today.
Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today, for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now. Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today, for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com. India's #1 political reporter.
Defines what seems to be happening, vendetta politics. कोई दूध के से धुला हुआ नहीं है.
Unmatched eye. Unmatched experience.
The world has changed. My black hair has become grey as well.
And with unmatched passion for the story.
Do not monopolize the conversation.
When it's 100% pure prime time. It's News Today with Rajdeep Sardesai. Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. Only on India Today TV. Make your media plans smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
You are watching India. You are watching India Today.
Welcome back. Political temperatures continue to soar in Kerala over the gold scam that has cinched the Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. Today, BJP workers and supporters took to the streets in Thiruvananthapuram demanding the resignation of Kerala Chief Minister. This after main accused in the scam, Swapna Suresh, alleged the involvement of the Chief Minister, his wife and daughter in the scam. Meanwhile, Swapna Suresh herself has declared that there is no question of withdrawing her statement against Pinarayi Vijayan, while the Chief Minister himself has denied the charge. He has also questioned the timing of Swapna's allegation.
The protest against Chief Minister in the gold smuggling case only seems to attain strength. As you can see in the visuals, the Yuva Morcha walked towards the Secretariat protesting against Chief Minister, demanding his resignation. They walked in huge numbers. Just before the Yuva Morcha walked towards the Secretariat, there was a BJP councillors protesting against the CM outside the Secretariat, and the Yuva Morcha walked towards the Secretariat, and the police and them had a tussle. They were pushing each other. They were trying to take some workers were also injured in the process. It was raining heavily some time back, but the rain did not stop them from protesting. The Yuva Morcha has said that they will continue the protest until the Chief Minister resigns. Water cannons were also fired at them. Tear gases were also used to disperse the crowd. The Yuva Morcha workers divided themselves into two and went to one side, and they protested on the other side of the Secretariat, and they came this side and also protested on this side also. Yesterday we saw Congress protesting against Chief Minister, and today we are seeing the Yuva Morcha coming out in large numbers demanding Chief Minister's resignation. They were reciting slogans not only against Chief Minister but also against his family members, his wife and his daughter, whose names were also taken by the prime accused Swapna Suresh in the case. They are now moving towards the police van. Some workers were injured and they're moving towards that side. The picture here is pretty clear with all the three parties on the ground, the Congress and the BJP, determined to make sure that the Chief Minister resign, and they said that they will continue this protest until the Chief Minister resign. And the CPIM and its allies have said that they will have their full support. They will give their full support to Chief Minister in this case. With video journalist Tinku Rajashekharan, this is Shubhi KG reporting for India Today from Thiruvananthapuram.
A teenager in Bengal has been arrested for a social media post against the rioters. That's right, a post where she condemned rioters. This is a 19-year-old Ashwini who has been put behind bars because she put up a post on social media saying that rioters must be thrown out of the country. Her post prompted angry rioters to pelt stones at a police station in Howrah and targeted the teenager's house, and the cops responded not by cracking down on the violent rioters, mind you, but by jailing this teenager for her post. This is the third such incident of intolerance that's been reported. In Maharashtra, teenager Saad Ansari was arrested after he posted a comment backing Nupur Sharma. In Tamil Nadu, a 24-year-old has been arrested for supporting Nupur Sharma, and now this incident of a teenager being arrested for demanding action against rioters, this time in West Bengal.
এখানকার মুসলিমরা এসে এরকম করে অত্যাচার করে বাড়ি ভাঙচুর, অনেক কটা বাড়ি ভাঙচুর করেছে, এভাবে ভাঙচুর করেছে, ওকে গ্রেপ্তার করেছে, গ্রেপ্তার করে নিয়ে গিয়ে ওকে অ্যারেস্ট করে গিয়ে বহরমপুরে, ওই তো ওই সব লিখেছে, হ্যাঁ ফেসবুকে যেগুলো লিখেছে সেইগুলোর অনুসারে ওকে গ্রেপ্তার করেছে। এটা তো ভালো জিনিসই লিখেছে, এটা তো খারাপ কিছু লেখেনি। এটা খারাপ কি লিখেছে? খারাপ কিছু যদি লিখতো, যে যদি কোনো উল্লেখ করে কিছু যদি লিখতো, যদি যে কোনো সাম্প্রদায়িক দল বা কোনো ভাই সাহেব মুসলমান, এই হিসাবে যদি ও লিখতো তাহলে এটা আলাদা ব্যাপার ছিল। এটা তো ঠিকই লিখেছে, এটাতে কিছু খারাপ কিছু লিখিনি। এটা
পুলিশ তো পরে এসেছে, আমরা যখন মানে এরকম হয় ভিতরটায় তালা মেরে আমাদের তখন বাড়ি ছেড়ে চলে যেতে হলো, প্রাণটা চলে যাওয়ার মতন হয়েছিল। মানে আমরা তখন সব তালা মেরে মানে ভিতরে এই আমার এটা জায়ের বাড়িতে গিয়ে আমরা আশ্রয় নিই। আমি তো ভেবেছিলাম যে আমরা আর বাঁচতে পারবো না, মানে যা অবস্থা হয়েছিল যে পরের দিন যে আমরা বাঁচবো, আত্মীয় স্বজন ফোন করছে, মানে আমাদের কি গিয়েছে আমরা জানি, এইটুকুন বলতে পারবো। আর কিছু কি বলবো দাদা। তারপরে তো পুলিশ যদি না আসতো ওই 10 মিনিটে, যে আরো অনেক কিছু হতে পারত। পুলিশ হয়তো 1 ঘন্টা 1.5 ঘন্টা পরে এসছে পুলিশ। এই যে কাঁচ এগুলো মিটার, তারপরে এই যে দরজা তো মানে আর 10 মিনিট যদি হতো দরজা ভেঙে ওরা ভিতরে ঢুকে পড়তো। বাপরে, আমরা লাইট দিয়ে দরজা বন্ধ করে আমরা ঘরে ছিলাম বসে, লাইট ফ্যান বন্ধ করে ঘরে বসছিলাম।
কতক্ষণ ধরে চলে এই পরিস্থিতি?
1 ঘন্টা 1.5 ঘন্টা তো হবে, 1 ঘন্টা 1.5 ঘন্টা হবে।
পুলিশ আসেনি?
পুলিশ সব শেষ হওয়ার পর রাত্রে পুলিশ এসছে।
India Today's Ritik gets you a ground report of how rioters targeted a police station in Howrah after Ashwini's post slamming these violent protesters.
We are at the Beldanga police station, which is the second spot of the violence which erupted on Saturday. Now we are showing you as the glass windows of this particular police station has been completely demolished, and several glass windows have been broken because of the stone pelting, and now a heavy police deployment has been done in that particular area. Situation in Rejinagar as well as in Beldanga is simmering. The internet suspension has been has been going on, and we are given to understand at least 6 people have been arrested as of now for their alleged involvement in this violence. And as we can see that a police vehicle has been deployed at the entry point of the police station, which is why that they can take the force forward if any sporadic violence erupted or news of any sporadic violence coming from any parts of Rejinagar or in Beldanga. With camera person Taposh Barry, this is Ritik from Murshidabad for India Today.
A man has been arrested for supporting Nupur Sharma's controversial remarks. Former ABVP man arrested for social media posts supporting Nupur's controversial video and reiterating it. Cybercrime unit of Coimbatore police arrested 24-year-old Karthi from Sananur for sharing Nupur Sharma's controversial video, with the comment, and I quote, "We'll repeat this every day. What did Nupur Sharma say wrong? She only said what was written," unquote. Cases for promoting communal enmity and breaching IT Act have been registered against Karthi, while the post has been deleted. Earlier, a 19-year-old youth, Saad Ansari, was assaulted and arrested for opposing beheading threat against Nupur. Breaking news coming in. Maharashtra Minister Nana Patole has sparked a controversy now, rakes up Nupur Sharma prophet Remark row to defend Sheikh Hussain. He says that the cops will do their job in the Hussain case. But for Nupur Sharma's remark, India had to issue an apology to Arab nations. Listen in to Nana Patole.
मैंने सुना नहीं है। मैं इस वक्तव्य को एक बार समझ लेता हूँ कि उन्हें किस उद्देश्य से किसको बोला है, और उसके बाद में मैं स्पष्टीकरण दूंगा।
So there you go. Patole has made a comment that says that India had to issue an apology to Arab nations for Nupur Sharma's remark. And here he also went on to say that the cops are going to be doing their job in the Sheikh Hussain case. So there you go. Reaction coming in from Nana Patole on Sheikh Hussein's remarks, the remarks of Sheikh Hussain that are rather very controversial. The Sheikh Hussain in public forum has gone ahead and said derogatory remarks about the Prime Minister. Ritwik Bhalekar is joining us live from Mumbai. Ritwik, Sheikh Hussain had no business in public domain to go ahead and say the things that he did about the Prime Minister. As far as that particular action against Sheikh Hussain is concerned, and under which sections has he been booked, can you bring us up to speed? And secondly, you've got Nana Patole talking about the fact that cops are going to take action against, against Sheikh Hussain. But in case of Nupur Sharma, India had to issue an apology against the Arab nations.
Chaiti, actually it is very surprising to know that the party president of Maharashtra Congress, Nana Patole, said that he has no clue about what Sheikh Hussain has said. The remarks which Sheikh Hussain has made yesterday in a Nagpur rally in a protest which was held against the ED's action on Rahul Gandhi, he had made such a derogatory remark about PM Modi, and the party president has no clue about it. We've told him that such remarks are made, and after that he reciprocated, saying that Mumbai police is doing their job. Maharashtra government is gonna take the...
Ritvik, hold on for a second. We're getting one more reaction coming in right there from Nana Patole. Let's listen into what he has to say.
मुझे पता नहीं है, सरकार ने एफआईआर दर्ज किया तो हमारी सरकार जागरूक है, अगर गलत है तो गलत को गलत करती है, समझती है। लेकिन निपुण शर्मा के केस में पहले आपने माफी मांगा आखाती देशों से, जो आखाती देश हमारे दिए हुए पे उनका काम चलता था, हमारे संस्कार से बड़े हुए, वो हमारे संस्कार से बड़े हुए, वो देश को हमने माफी मांगा और माफी मांगने के बाद कार्रवाई कर रहे हैं। इसमें हम दोनों में बहुत फर्क है, जमीन आसमान का फर्क है, विचारधारा का। गलत है तो गलत है। हमारी सरकार ने कार्रवाई की, आपने बोला तो बिल्कुल सरकार ने गलत हुआ तो कार्रवाई की होंगी।
The Punjab police has got 7-day custody of Lawrence Bishnoi, the suspected mastermind behind Sidhu Moosewala's murder. Punjab police took gangster Lawrence Bishnoi to Crime Investigation Agency office in Punjab's Kharar, where he is being grilled by SIT and the Anti-Gangster Task Force in connection with his role in Singer's murder case. Commandos have been deployed for Bishnoi's security. Bishnoi was produced in Delhi's Patiala House Court after his custody with Delhi police in Arms Act case ended. He has been lodged in Tihar jail and he's facing multiple cases in multiple states. Punjab police has submitted on Tuesday that the arrested accused had said Lawrence Bishnoi was indeed behind the murder.
Gangster Lawrence Bishnoi has been brought to this CIA police station in Mohali. He was escorted by nearly 100 cops in 24 vehicles, which also included 2 bulletproof vehicles. Punjab police got a 7-day custody of this gangster who was brought on 1-day transit remand. He was produced in the Mansa court, which remanded him to police custody. Though the gangster during the Delhi police questioning has not confessed that he is behind Sidhu Moosewala's murder conspiracy, but Punjab police is suspecting that he is the mastermind. During this 7-day questioning, police will try to find out answers to various questions. Whether the conspiracy to kill Sidhu Moosewala was hatched in the jail? What is the connection of Goldie Bharat? Was Goldie Bharat hired by the Lawrence Bishnoi or anybody else is involved in this murder? Police will try to find out answers to these questions. With camera person Aman Gupta, this is Manjeet Sehgal in Mohali for India Today.
अभी भी जो पूरी कॉन्स्पिरेसी है सिद्धू मूसेवाला की, उसका खुलासा अभी तक नहीं हो पाया है। शायद इसी वजह से, चूंकि पंजाब पुलिस के पास ये जांच थी, इसलिए मास्टरमाइंड बार बार लॉरेंस बिश्नोई को बताया जा रहा था। दिल्ली पुलिस ने भी अपनी जांच में ये बताया कि लॉरेंस बिश्नोई ही सिद्धू मूसेवाला की हत्या का मास्टरमाइंड है। लिहाजा पंजाब पुलिस ने लॉरेंस बिश्नोई की कस्टडी ली है, 7 दिन की पुलिस कस्टडी मिली है और अब यहाँ जो भारी भरकम सुरक्षा आप देख पा रहे हैं, क्योंकि अदालत ने भी कहा था कि लॉरेंस बिश्नोई की सुरक्षा पुख्ता की जाए, एश्योरेंस दिया जाए, क्योंकि लॉरेंस बिश्नोई ने भी अदालत में दिल्ली के ये अपनी आशंका जताई थी कि उसका एनकाउंटर हो सकता है या विरोधी गैंग के लोग उसे पंजाब में मार सकते हैं, जिसके बाद कोर्ट के आदेश के बाद आप देख पा रहे हैं किस तरह की सुरक्षा व्यवस्था है। अब यहाँ पर लॉरेंस बिश्नोई से एसआईटी के जो अधिकारी हैं वो पूछताछ करेंगे कि सिद्धू मूसेवाला की हत्या में कौन कौन लोग शामिल हैं, किस तरह से इस पूरे हत्याकांड को अंजाम दिया गया। कैमरामैन अंकित खंडेलवाल के साथ अरविंद ओझा, मोहाली। लॉरेंस बिश्नोई को 7 दिन की कस्टडी में आपके पास रखा गया है, किस तरह की उसकी सिक्योरिटी है अभी?
देखिए, सिक्योरिटी तो हम उसकी जो जैसे कोर्ट ने एडवाइस किया हुआ है उसकी प्रॉपर हम सिक्योरिटी लगा रहे हैं और लगाई भी हुई है। तो अभी तो जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन है वो एसआईटी में ही करेगी उसको। फिलहाल उसकी जो हम सिक्योरिटी ही लगा रहे हैं उसको।
तो किस तरह की सिक्योरिटी है? क्या कमांडो
आप देख सकते हैं, बिल्कुल सिक्योरिटी उसकी इसके लिए जो है सफिशिएंट सिक्योरिटी हम कर रहे हैं। उसमें कमांडो भी है, उसमें लोकल है, उसमें हमारी जो पैरामिलिट्री है वो भी है। तो सिक्योरिटी
एसआईटी के अधिकारी अभी आ गए?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल आ रहे हैं।
Punjab police has got the custody of suspected mastermind behind Sidhu Moosewala's murder, Lawrence Bishnoi. India Today has exclusively accessed information about the questions Punjab police plans to ask the gangster during his interrogation. Here's a report.
Lawrence Bishnoi, the suspected mastermind behind Sidhu Moosewala's murder, is in Punjab police's custody. The Patiala House Court in Delhi gave Bishnoi's custody to Punjab police on Tuesday. Bishnoi had cited threat of encounter by the state police.
इनको सामने से जो है पूरी एश्योरेंस देनी पड़ेगी, बाकायदा एफिडेविट दाखिल करना पड़ेगा, ये मेरी डिमांड है, जिसके अंदर बाकायदा हर 12 घंटे में इसका मेडिकल हो और इसको बाकायदा बुलेट गाड़ी में लेके जाया जाए, इसकी पूरी जान माल सुरक्षा की जाए। इसके साथ में सीनियर पुलिस ऑफिसर जो हैं इस पूरे ऑपरेशन को वॉच करें। इसको जहां से लेके जाना है तो ड्यूली हैंडकफ और शैकल्स यानी प्रॉपर हथकड़ियां और बेड़ियां लगा के ले आया जाए और उसी में प्रोड्यूस किया जाए, जिससे कि कल पंजाब पुलिस को या किसी को कोई एक्सक्यूज ना मिल सके कि इसने भागने की कोशिश की। हमारी ये गुड डिमांड है कि हमें हथकड़ियां बेड़ियां लगा के ले आया जाए।
India Today has exclusively accessed information about the questions Punjab police plans to ask the gangster during his interrogation. Bishnoi will be grilled on the motive for the murder. The police will ask Bishnoi about the shooters who pumped 18 bullets into Moosewala. They will also interrogate him on murder threat allegedly issued to Bollywood superstar Salman Khan. Bishnoi will be grilled on his connection to the Canada-based gangster Goldie Brar, who had taken responsibility for Moosewala's murder. The police sources have claimed the murder case is cracked. Bishnoi's interrogation will be key for the police to build a solid case in the Moosewala murder. Bureau Report, India Today.
Time for a very short commercial break, but when we return on the other side, the much-awaited trailer for Brahmastra is out. That and every other story from the world of entertainment up next.
जल, वायु, अग्नि, प्राचीन काल से हमारे बीच कुछ ऐसी शक्तियां हैं जो अस्त्रों में भरी हुई है। You are watching India Today.
Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today, for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
You are watching India Today.
Ketiki Chitale has spent 1 month and counting in jail for a social media post on Sharad Pawar. One of her friends will be joining me at 5:30. A young woman named Aishwini has been in jail for the last many days for asking for rioters in Bengal, those who'd been protesting against Nupur Sharma, to be thrown out of the country. She's still in jail. And a young man in Tamil Nadu has been arrested for his comments in support of Nupur Sharma. Where are the free speech crusaders for all of these people on whom India Today is putting the spotlight? Their story on 5 Live at 5 p.m.
You are watching India Today.
Welcome back. K-pop group BTS has officially announced the hiatus as they will now be beginning the second chapter of their journey and focus more on solo projects. Take a look.
K-pop group BTS has officially announced a hiatus as a group during a festa dinner that premiered on YouTube. Shocking the entire world, BTS announced that they will now be beginning the second chapter of their journey and focus more on solo projects as they discover themselves as artists. The group also spoke about their future plans for solo projects and also explained to fans that they need time to take an extended break. BTS made its debut in June 2013 and became a worldwide sensation with its upbeat hits like Boy in Love, Dope, Fake Love, and Blood, Sweat and Tears. The boy band has also delivered several chartbusters including Dynamite, Permission to Dance and Butter.
I'm the nice guy, got the right body and the right mind. Rolling up the party, got the right vibes. Move like haters. Fresh boy, pull up and we lay low. On the place, get moving with the bass low. Going on me right behind us when we say so. Let's go.
BTS marks their 9th anniversary as a band, and on the occasion, they recently also released a new album titled Proof.
Touch the sky for the day we die.
The group became the first Asian band to win Artist of the Year at the American Music Awards.
The past was honestly the best. When my business world comes last, I've never seen it different.
They even met US President Joe Biden at the White House in May to discuss hate crimes targeting Asians.
This is an important month here in America. A lot of our Asian American friends have been subject to real discrimination. Hate only hides. When good people talk about it and say how bad it is, it goes down. So thank you.
We want to say thank you sincerely for your decision, such as signing the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act into law. So we just want to be a little help, and we truly appreciate the White House and the government's trying to find solutions.
People care a lot about what you say, and what you're doing is good for all people. It's not just your great talent. It's the message you're communicating. It matters.
Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
And the trailer of Ayan Mukherjee's much-anticipated film Brahmastra is finally out, headlined by the newlyweds Ranbir Kapoor and Alia Bhatt. The film promises love, light and never-seen-before visual effects for the audience. Let's take a look at it.
अग्नि प्राचीन काल से हमारे बीच कुछ ऐसी शक्तियां हैं जो अस्त्रों में भरी हुई है। ये कहानी है इन सारे अस्त्रों के देवता की, ब्रह्मास्त्र, और एक ऐसे नौजवान की जो इस बात से अनजान है कि वो ब्रह्मास्त्र की किस्मत का सिकंदर है, शिवा।
Yeah.
दूंगा।
Time now for a special news segment for the hearing impaired. A Maharashtra Congress Neta's abusive rant against the Prime Minister is a new low in Indian politics. While participating in a satyagraha in support of Rahul Gandhi, Congress leader Sheikh Hussain declared that the Prime Minister will die like a street dog. Neta remains defiant, says, "Why should I apologize?" Massive ruckus erupted outside Congress headquarters and outside the ED office as Rahul was grilled for third consecutive day by ED. Dozens of Congress leaders and workers were engaged in intense face-off with the Delhi police. Race to Raisina gets intense as Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee chairs an all-important opposition meeting in Delhi. Top leaders like Akhilesh, Mallikarjun Kharge, Omar Abdullah, Mehbooba Mufti attend the meeting. Protests emerge over the Kerala gold scam in Thiruvananthapuram. BJP workers take to the streets demanding resignation of Kerala Chief Minister. Meanwhile, Swapna Suresh has refused to take back the statement against Vijaya.
India's #1 political reporter.
Defines what seems to be happening, vendetta politics. कोई दूध के से धुला हुआ नहीं है.
Unmatched eye, unmatched experience.
The world has changed. My black hair has become grey as well.
And with unmatched passion for the story.
Do not monopolize the conversation.
When it's 100% pure prime time. It's News Today with Rajdeep Sardesai. Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. Only on India Today TV. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
You are watching India Today.
Ketiki Chitale has spent 1 month and counting in jail for a social media post on Sharad Pawar. One of her friends will be joining me at 5:30. A young woman named Aishwini has been in jail for the last many days for asking for rioters in Bengal, those who'd been protesting against Nupur Sharma, to be thrown out of the country. She's still in jail. And a young man in Tamil Nadu has been arrested for his comments in support of Nupur Sharma. Where are the free speech crusaders for all of these people on whom India Today is putting the spotlight? Their story on 5 Live at 5 p.m.
So sorry.
राज में तो पक गए, इलेक्शन में इतनी मेहनत की कि थक गए। तुम तो चाय पिलाओ मियाँ, आजमगढ़ से हाय आदमी को जिताओ मियाँ।
जी चाय लाया।
सुनवाई पहले यहाँ आएगी मियाँ, क्योंकि यूपी के सीएम हम हैं। मैं कह रहा था बाबा जी, चाय तो आप ही पहले पी लो, लेकिन आजमगढ़ में झंडे हम ही गाड़ेंगे। रामपुर से करेंगे आपकी हार की शुरुआत, फिर धीरे धीरे यूपी से उखाड़ेंगे। चाय भी हम पियेंगे और यूपी में भी हम रहेंगे। जनता की मोहब्बत से हम यहाँ डंडा गाड़ के रहते हैं। साइकिल लेकर हमसे ना टकराओ मुन्ना, बेकार जाओगे। हमें लोग बाबा बुलडोजर कहते हैं। खामोश। कमल में दम नहीं, हम किसी से कम नहीं। साइकिल है तो पॉसिबल है।
Presented by Berger Easy Clean. No dog, no dhabba, only beautiful walls. In association with Sensodyne Daily Sensitivity Protection, LIC हर पल आपके साथ। कांग्रेस कुत्ते की मौत अटैक ऑन प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी।
की मौत होती है, ऐसे नरेंद्र मोदी की मौत होगी।
How desperate and abusive is Congress today? Dhakka Mukhi and Dhua in capital. Burning tires, bashing Prime Minister, bruising self. India stunned by Congress's desperate priorities. Flaming escalation in heart of VIP Delhi. The herald high drum.
Abuse arson has translated into total chaos. Between Delhi, Nagpur, Bengaluru and other places, the Congress's support for one man, Rahul Gandhi, has resulted in some pretty terrifying stuff. Abusive language used for the Prime Minister, tires being burnt in VIP Delhi. We'll tell you the whole story of what happened, what went down, the big questions and much more. I'm Shiv Arur. This is 5 Live and these are the headlines. Day 3 of Rahul Gandhi's grilling. Enforcement Directorate sources say Rahul's tutored answers are slowing down questioning. Congress cadres set tires ablaze outside the Enforcement Directorate office in VIP Delhi. This is what scenes look like this morning. Meanwhile, the Kerala gold scam fallout simmers. BJP takes to the streets against Chief Minister Vijayan. Water cannons used against protesters. Accused Swapna Suresh defiant, says will not withdraw my statement. Big blow to Mamata's Raisina race. Aam Aadmi Party and TRS skip her big opposition unity meeting. Sharad Pawar says no to be joint opposition nominee for president. Left proposes Mahatma Gandhi's grandson Gopal Gandhi. Saad Ansari rerun in Tamil Nadu. ABVP youth arrested in Coimbatore for backing Nupur Sharma. Bengal teen behind bars for opposing rioters. All of their stories in the spotlight on 5:30. Singer Moosewala murder secrets set to unravel. Punjab police get gangster Lawrence Bishnoi's custody. Murder threat to Salman Khan also being probed. We've got big updates coming up at 6 p.m. And before we get to the main story, we've got some breaking news on the grilling of Rahul Gandhi on day 3 of the Enforcement Directorate operations in the Herald scandal. We've got exclusive inside track on what Rahul Gandhi is being asked on day 3 of questioning. Enforcement Directorate officials have told India today that Young Indian is a not-for-profit company incorporated under the special provisions of the Companies Act, and that not a single penny has been taken out of it, is what Rahul Gandhi's side has said. The officials, however, countered Rahul Gandhi, claiming that the company has not done any charitable work since the time it was formed in 2010. So what was it formed really about? Rahul Gandhi was also asked to submit additional documents and evidence if any charitable work has been done by the company called Young Indians. So Rahul Gandhi has apparently been cornered by the Enforcement Directorate on the issue of the kind of work that the company Young Indians have done. Rahul tells the ED that it is a non-profit organization and that not a single penny has been taken out from Young Indians Limited. Rahul Gandhi says it is a charitable, not-for-profit organization, but the ED has basically said, show us any evidence of charitable work that has been done by Young India. What is the purpose of this company? Munish Pandey breaking this angle first, an exclusive here on India Today. The heat is up against Rahul Gandhi. Munish, take us through this latest piece of information that you're breaking.
Yeah, well, Shiv, so far Rahul Gandhi has been questioned for almost 25 hours by the Enforcement Directorate, and most of the questions are pertaining to the functioning of AJL and Young Indian. Now, as far as Young Indian is concerned, remember Rahul Gandhi was one of the directors of Young Indian and also 38% shareholder of that company. So ED is focusing their questions and their investigation on Rahul Gandhi's association specifically with Young Indian. Now what ED sources have told us that Rahul Gandhi was asked specifically that if it is a non-profit company, not-for-profit company, then why was there no charitable work done by this Young Indian Private Limited? This question was asked to Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi has explained when he was asked that why did you become the director of Young Indian Private Limited? Why did you hold share of 38% in this company? Rahul said that this is a not-for-profit company. It means that it was formed under Section 25 of Companies Act. No person can use a single penny. The ED officer said that, but if there is, even if it is a not-for-profit company, why there was no charitable trust? And Shiv, it has been almost 12 years this company has been formed, and ED sources are telling us that they have no evidence that there is any charitable trust done by this company. Now they have also asked Rahul Gandhi, if you have done or if this company has done any charitable trust, then submit the evidence, submit the documents. So ED is trying to grill Rahul Gandhi on certain aspects of this company and also his association with AJL. Shiv.
How many more days? You know, I know it's a little difficult to tell right now, but I still want to get a sense of this, Munish, because the Enforcement Directorate appears to be suggesting that the fact that Rahul Gandhi is giving tutored answers is slowing down this entire process. Today is day 3 of his grilling by the Enforcement Directorate. Do we have a sense of how many more days this is going to stretch on for?
Yeah, well, Shiv, The questioning is happening for the entire day. Yesterday he was questioned for almost 10 hours. Day before yesterday he was questioned for almost 8.5 hours. But what is happening, and this is according to ED sources, is that on day one only 10 questions were asked to Rahul Gandhi. And the reason why they were able to complete only 10 questions, because whenever a question is asked to Rahul Gandhi, then he is very cautious with his words. When he is answering, and this is according to sources within the Enforcement Directorate, that his answers appears to be tutored by his lawyers. Now, any person has a right to take suggestions from lawyers. It might be a legal strategy by Rahul Gandhi, but ED officials are saying that it is being very difficult for them to question Rahul Gandhi, because when the process is getting very delayed, for example, if one question is being asked to Rahul Gandhi, he gives the answer in a certain way that he chooses words very cautiously, and when the answer is complete, then he requests them to change few words, change the paragraph. So the process gets delayed. For example, in ED, and this is important, Shiv, in ED the process is that when the officer will ask the question, then the person who is answering, in this case this is Rahul Gandhi, then he has to write the answers. Once the answer is written, then Rahul Gandhi will be signing that answer, and another officer will be typing that answer. To complete one answer, it will take 15 to 20 minutes, but in case of Rahul Gandhi, it is taking more than half hour. This is what the sources are claiming within the Enforcement Directorate. So far, yesterday also, Rahul Gandhi made a request to ED officials that he wants to complete the questioning, but officials are saying that there are still some questions which are untouched. There are still some questions which they want to ask Rahul Gandhi once again, so that if there is any possibility of getting more information from Rahul Gandhi, so they want to utilize it.
Thanks very much. There's still a lack of clarity, but it's going to continue for as long as necessary, is the sense we're getting from the Enforcement Directorate. But just take a look, viewer, at what today actually looked like in 8 images. We've selected 8 images to show you what day 3 of Rahul Gandhi's questioning by the Enforcement Directorate looked like in the national capital. Rahul Gandhi there before he went in for the grilling, the burning of tires, the breaking of barricades, dhakka mukhi, fists of fury being shaken, the Youth Congress chief being dragged away, many leaders being pushed and pulled, the police walking into the All India Congress Committee headquarters on Akbar Road in Delhi, which has sparked a huge amount of outrage over how exactly the police thought it could just walk inside a political party headquarters. Priyanka Gandhi also there, of course, in solidarity. But today marked, as you can see in these images, a very specific escalation. Let's go into each one of these images and show you how they define the day, which is day 3 of Rahul Gandhi's grilling. The first defining image was this one, and it was first on India Today. The burning of tires, this huge plume of black smoke in the heart of Lutyens, Delhi, captured on India Today's cameras, a picture that went viral late this morning. This was right outside the Enforcement Directorate as Youth Congress and other Congress Karyakartas indulged in this act. The burning of tires right in the national capital. The second defining image on day 3 of the grilling, Congress Neta B.V. Srinivas, leader of the Youth Congress, was detained forcibly on the 3rd straight day after allegedly running away from the police on day 1. Both his days have gone by being detained. Images, well, this is of course not B.V. Srinivas. There's a small error in this image, but the image of B.V. Srinivas being detained was one of the images of the day. These are of course images of other leaders being detained. Let's also show you, yeah, there he is. That's Srinivas. Apologies for that. That's B.V. Srinivas of the Indian Youth Congress, for the 3rd straight day being manhandled and detained by the police, bundled into bus and taken away. Viral videos of him being manhandled yesterday, running away allegedly from the police the day before that. And today, this is what the Congress's Youth Congress chief, B.V. Srinivas, was subjected to. Let's get you the 4th defining image. Congress netas also took to the streets, leaving all of their work. from senior leaders to chief ministers from other states, they all descended in Delhi and they've continued to be part of this mass agitation by the Congress party. They claim it's political vendetta to fix Rahul Gandhi and that he will not cow down, and neither will the Congress party. This is what it looked like. It's blazing hot in Delhi, and as you can see, the political temperatures have also been rising. And finally, the defining image number 5 on this third day of the grilling. Mayhem broke out outside the Congress headquarters in Delhi, with police personnel entering the party office premises, sparking outrage. They allegedly manhandled and beat up party officials. The Delhi police has denied the charges of high-handedness leveled against them. But these images have been tweeted by several Congress leaders to say that this is a historic low for actions by the Delhi police. And let's show you once again how things escalated in a most dramatic manner from around noon today, from the burning of those tires to people spilling out onto the streets in large numbers, disruptions of traffic, and a real law and order situation in the heart of Delhi. Here's how day 3 of Rahul's grilling played out in Lutyens, Delhi.
Tires set ablaze. Thick black smoke outside ED office in the heart of Delhi. Tense standoff with cops. Fiery standoff, unruly protest and fisticuffs, and raging Congress cadre, all for Rahul Gandhi.
Look at the visuals. This is just outside the ED office, and this is nothing less than arsoning. Tires being burned on a busy stretch of road, putting the traffic on a hold. Just look at these visuals. Now these protesters are running away. Sir, tires नहीं जला सकते. जला सकते हैं आप, ये मोदी साहब के. सर आप नहीं सर, आप रास्ते पे ट्रैफिक में करने से मजबूर है हम लोग. क्या कर सकते हैं इसमें? क्यों ये इतनी पुलिस लगा रखी है? आप उसको प्रोटेस्ट अब सत्याग्रह कह रहे हैं क्या? गांधी जी ने सत्याग्रह में टायर ऐसे में ये रॉन्ग है ना मैम? टायर्स जलाना भी गलत है. ये रॉन्ग नहीं है क्योंकि हम these protesters are refusing to understand the meaning of satyagraha. This is an extremely busy stretch. It has to be repeated that this kind of arsoning can actually put a risk of life.
Day 3 of Rahul Gandhi's grilling at the ED office took a furious turn when Congress entered a chaotic face-off with the Delhi police. Congress claimed that Delhi police barged into its headquarters and assaulted its cadre. Images captured dozens of Congress leaders and workers in a tense standoff with Delhi police and other security personnel outside the party's headquarters on Akbar Road.
राजनीतिक दल के कार्यालय है और उसमें पुलिस घुसे और वहाँ लाठी चार्ज करे, तो ये साहस दिल्ली पुलिस की नहीं हो सकती. ये निर्देश मिला है ऊपर से, और ये वही ताकत है जो लोकतंत्र में विश्वास नहीं करते. जो यदि राजनीतिक विचारधारा उसके अलग है तो उसको समाप्त कर देना चाहते हैं, कुचल देना चाहते हैं.
Despite Congress fury on roads, there's no let-up in ED's marathon grilling. According to ED sources, Rahul has been evasive and giving tutored answers. ED officials questioning Rahul are not satisfied with the answers of the former Congress president, saying he's changing them often. With Shreya Chatterjee, Supriya Bharadwaj and Munish Pandey in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
And as part of Team Rahul's protest in his samarthan, in his support, which should be legitimate, the party is allowed to protest for Rahul Gandhi. You saw what was happening in Delhi, but far away in Nagpur in Maharashtra, where the Congress is part of the ruling alliance, here's what one of their leaders actually said on camera, in front of a large crowd, in the presence of 2 Congress ministers, part of the Uddhav Thackeray government. He said Prime Minister Modi should die like a street dog. That's his words. If you don't believe me, watch this.
फालतू के काम करना बंद करो, नहीं तो नरेंद्र मोदी तेरा वही हाल होगा. फिर आप क्या बोलेंगे कि जैसे की मौत होती है ऐसे नरेंद्र मोदी की मौत होगी.
Congress Neta resorting to open, sickening abuse. In his aggressive defense of Rahul Gandhi, this Congress leader, Sheikh Hussain from Maharashtra, caught on camera hurling filthy abuses in public at the Prime Minister, saying Narendra Modi will die like a street dog if he continues to target Rahul Gandhi and not focus on national issues. Listen once again to this shocking hate rant from a senior Congress leader.
नरेंद्र मोदी तुमको लोगों ने देश को विकास करने के लिए दिया है। 70 साल में कांग्रेस ने किया है, उसी को बेचकर तुम देश चला रहे हो। तुम कुछ कर नहीं रहे। ये फालतू के काम करना बंद करो, नहीं तो नरेंद्र मोदी तेरा वही हाल होगा। फिर अब क्या बोलेंगे कि जैसे की मौत होती है, ऐसे नरेंद्र मोदी की मौत होगी। के लिए दिया है।
That's right. He actually said it. A Congress leader in the presence of two Maharashtra ministers who don't stop him, telling the Prime Minister that he will die like a street dog.
फालतू के काम करना बंद करो, नहीं तो नरेंद्र मोदी तेरा वही हाल होगा। फिर अब क्या बोलेंगे कि जैसे की मौत होती है, ऐसे नरेंद्र मोदी की मौत होगी।
The Congress Neta also warned the country will burn if Rahul or Sonia Gandhi are harmed in any way.
अगर उनके बाल को भी जरा सा धक्का लगेगा तो इस देश के अंदर में अंगार लग जाएगी, इस देश को ये बर्बाद हो जाएगा। कुछ कर नहीं है।
Speaking to India Today, an unapologetic Sheikh Hussain justified his attack.
मेरे दिल में कोई मलाल नहीं, मैंने कुछ गलत भी नहीं बोला और मैंने कोई ऐसी गलती की नहीं। मैंने एक मुहावरा दिया सिर्फ, वो समझे क्या? उसमें कोई गलत नहीं है।
The BJP expectedly has torn into the Congress for this abuse on the Prime Minister, saying that the opposition has finally shown its true ugly face.
देखिए, इस प्रकार के घृणित बयान प्रतिक्रिया के योग्य नहीं है, परंतु यह कांग्रेस की क्षुद्रता और मानसिक स्तर की सीमा तक पहुंच गया है। यह उसका क्रमशः प्रमाण है।
The unfolding drama, coupled with what's been happening in Delhi, has set off a huge fight between the BJP and the Congress in the backdrop of Rahul Gandhi being questioned on day 3 by the Enforcement Directorate.
कांग्रेस के मुख्यालय में, भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस के दफ्तर में जबरन कैसे घुस सकते हैं, कैसे किसी के घर के अंदर जाकर लाठीचार्ज कर सकते हैं।
पहले भ्रष्टाचार में जो 2000 करोड़ का गबन किया गया, उस पर तो साइलेंस है, परंतु अब कोई इंटिमिडेशन कर दे, एजेंसीज को सवाल पूछने का मौका ना मिले, एजेंसीज को सच तक पहुंचने का मौका ना मिले, इसीलिए वायलेंस पर उतर आए हैं।
The ruling Mahavikas Aghadi in Maharashtra is on the back foot over this withering personal attack on Modi.
फालतू के काम करना बंद करो, नहीं तो नरेंद्र मोदी तेरा वही हाल होगा। फिर अब क्या बोलेंगे कि जैसे की मौत होती है, ऐसे नरेंद्र मोदी की मौत होगी।
An FIR has been lodged against the Maharashtra Congress leader for obscenity and for provoking breach of peace. With Pankaj Khelkar in Pune, Bureau Report, India Today. So venom being spewed, the Prime Minister being called a street dog, tires being burnt. If this is not an escalation, then what is? This is what it looked like. Take a look once again. If anyone needed reminding whatsoever of what day 3 of the Congress's protests have looked like in this country, all of this is about Rahul Gandhi Samarthan. Whatever else you may think of the Congress party's priorities, this is all about Rahul Gandhi. This is a party that will be going into so-called presidential elections in a couple of months from now. Does anyone wonder whether anyone is the boss except Rahul Gandhi? This is what the Congress party, the lengths to which the party has gone for one man, a man who isn't even their official president. And things are actually going to escalate even further than the images that you've seen here, because the Congress's big national escalation in support of Rahul Gandhi is coming up tomorrow. The Congress has just declared that they demand action against the cops for what happened at the party office, that they will protest across the country. They're going to expand their protest to a pan-India protest, and they will also be gherawing Raj Bhavans, that is the House of Governors, in different parts of the country. Gherao Raj Bhavans and an expansion in the Congress's protests is on the cards for later today as well as tomorrow. So therefore, it becomes very clear, viewer, that the Congress's protest for Rahul Gandhi is all set to get a whole lot bigger and more aggressive. Listen in to Randeep Singh Surjewala of the Congress Party.
The Delhi police today forcibly entered the national headquarters of Indian National Congress at Delhi, beat up workers and leaders. This is patently criminal trespass. The Gundaism of Modi government and Delhi police has reached its zenith. We are protesting peacefully in a Gandhian way, but this Gundaism is unacceptable. It will not be tolerated. It will be accounted for. We will remember, and the suitable action, both civil and criminal, will be taken. कल पूरे देश के अंदर राजभवनों का घेराव भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस के लोग करेंगे, क्योंकि मोदी सरकार के इशारे पर यह हो रहा है और राजभवन जो है वो मोदी सरकार का प्रतिबिंब है। और परसों हर जिला मुख्यालय पर कांग्रेस के लोग प्रदर्शन करेंगे। जान ले मोदी जी, प्रजातंत्र की अवहेलना करने वालों की खैर नहीं।
Let's go across to India today. Supriya Bharadwaj on the phone line with us on this information coming in that the Congress's protests in favor of Rahul Gandhi are going to expand big time. Supriya, Raj Bhavans are going to be gherawed tomorrow. The protests are going to expand to other parts of the country. Can you give us a picture of what it's going to look like?
Well, Shiv, this escalation will start from today itself. What we are hearing is that Congress is going to hold press conferences across the country today itself as far as what happened, the way Delhi police entered into their headquarters in the national capital. Now, the Congress party has released videos, they have given out a statement, and they have said, they have claimed that Delhi police entered their police headquarters, their headquarters, and Delhi police also took some of their leaders out. They have detained them. There was a massive showdown between the Congress leaders and workers who were present there and the Delhi police officials. After that, what we are hearing now is that there will be press conferences across the country. Tomorrow, there is this call that in the entire country, in each state where the Raj Bhavans are, Congress leaders and workers are going to gheraw them and are going to protest. They are saying because governors represent the central government, so the protest is against the central government, and they will be going all out and protesting. And day after tomorrow, they are going to protest at the district levels and at the block levels. So now the battle the battle is not just confined to Delhi, it is going down to ground zero, that is at the booth and the district levels also. So this is going to be a massive protest which Congress party plans in next 2 days. And what we are hearing is that in Delhi also, they are saying that they will continue protesting the way they are. Now, just a couple of minutes back, Sachin Pilot was detained, and now also we are hearing that there are leaders who are trying to reach AFC headquarters, senior leaders who are being detained at the moment.
Supriya, thanks very much. Keep tracking that story. It's going to become bigger. That's the big message from the Congress party. We've got some breaking news coming in from the race to the president's post as well. Kaun Banega Rashtrapati finally has an answer, at least as far as the opposition parties are concerned, after Sharad Pawar has opted out of the presidential race. Gopal Krishna Gandhi is all set to be the unified opposition candidate for the presidential election. Gopal Krishna Gandhi is all set to be the opposition candidate for India's next Rashtrapati. Let's go across and listen in to Mamata Banerjee, who called this big opposition unity meeting where Sharad Pawar has opted out.
Decided there will be only one consensus candidate
though I personally, even all the members of the meeting, they unanimously suggested Sharad Pawar's name. Unanimously. If Sharad Pawar is agreed, is okay, but he said he is not interested. But then we will do it. So when he is not, if he is agreed, everybody will give him support. And if not, then the name should be come from the political parties. They will consult Sharadji, consult with others, and then it will be decided.
Poulomi Saha tracking the story very, very closely. Poulomi, it's become very, very tantalizing, this whole opposition meet. Sharad Pawar's name proposed. He declines the offer. He says he doesn't want to be part of the race. It's looking like Gopal Krishna Gandhi is shaping up to be the opposition candidate for Rashtrapati.
Well, Shiv, no name has been finalized as far as the opposition is concerned. Gopal Krishna Gandhi is still a name which was suggested, like we broke earlier this morning, by the left parties only. It is a suggestion. Gopal Gandhi has himself spoken to India Today and said very categorically that only if there is a consensus and it is a unanimous opinion that I should be contesting as the joint opposition candidate, then will I consider that and possibly throw my hat in the ring. But so far, no one name has been finalized. The opposition parties today, of course, tried to convince Mr. Pawar to contest the elections again. But again, categorically, he declined the offer and he said that I want to stay in active politics. So Mr. Pawar's name is out of the race now. So what the opposition so far today has decided is that they will hold another meeting in a week's time, possibly on the 20th or the 21st of June, when they will again deliberate. Party leaders will meet and they will again deliberate on one consensus candidate. Meanwhile, they have in fact deputed Ms. Mamata Banerjee, Mr. Sharad Pawar and Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge of the Congress party to speak to all opposition parties in order to get their thoughts on who they would think and like to see in the race, or who they think is the ideal candidate, in fact, to take on the NDA's candidate.
Do we know why Sharad Pawar declined, Poulomi?
Well, Mr. Pawar says he wants to be in active politics. That is the argument, in fact, that he gave yesterday as well when we spoke to our sources in his individual meetings that he had with Mr. Sitaram Yechuri and D. Raja first and then with Ms. Mamata Banerjee as well. He said that I want to stay in active politics, and that is what he, in fact, conveyed to the party leaders over here as well. Over here, everyone present in the room was unanimously supportive of Mr. Pawar's name if he chose to contest the election. But he, unfortunately for them, has declined.
Poulomi, keep tracking that story. It promises to be a very tantalizing political battlefield, the presidential election. Let's see how that actually works out. We, of course, will keep you ahead, viewer, on every little twist and turn over Kaun Banega Rashtrapati. Quick break on the other side, continuing with our spotlight focus on young Indians who've been abused, thrashed, slapped and thrown behind bars for their social media posts, for their free speech. We're putting the spotlight today on Ketaki Chittale, as well as a young Bengali teenager who dared to ask for rioters in her state to be thrown out of the country.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com or call 9999892171. Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today, for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
You are watching India Today.
India Today Group wins big at NT Awards 2022. Bags 5 coveted awards in digital categories. Mobile application by a news channel, Aaj Tak. Most popular social media TV news brand, Aaj Tak. News channel website, India Today. Social contribution by a news network, India Today. Strongest digital footprint of a news network, Aaj Tak. India Today Group, the gold standard of journalism. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today, for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
You are watching India.
To solve Sidhu Moosewala's murder, police in 3 states have got involved: Delhi, Punjab and Maharashtra. While Lawrence Bishnoi has been taken to Punjab under a tight security cover, one shooter, Santosh Jadhav, arrested by the Pune crime branch, has now thrown up shocking details. These dreaded gangsters have been active not just on the streets across states, but also on Instagram, where they execute, take orders and boast about their kills and captures. I have that special report coming up at 6 p.m. Prime today. Do not miss. That and more on India Today.
Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu and now Bengal. The intolerance fire is spreading. 19-year-old jailed for anti-riot post. She condemned rioters, got jailed. Mamta's cops booked teenager, let off rioters. Speak up for Bengal's Ashwini. India against intolerance.
It's absolutely incredible. 19-year-old Ashwini in Mamta Banerjee's Bengal speaks out against rioters who are causing violence in Bengal in the wake of the Nupur Sharma comments about the Prophet. She wanted the rioters thrown out of India. Well, guess what happened? Her house was attacked, the police station was stoned, and Ashwini was put in jail, where she continues to remain behind bars. The latest young Indian face that has exposed the hypocrisy of free speech crusaders nationwide. From Ketiki Chittale to Saad Ansari to Nikhil Bhamre. Ashwini is the latest. Is this not intolerance? Youngsters jailed for their social media posts. In Udhav's Maharashtra, in Stalin's Tamil Nadu, in Mamata's Bengal. Remember, it was India Today that brought national attention to the case of young student Saad Ansari, who was beaten up, assaulted, and then jailed for a post where he had backed Nupur Sharma. A similar tale of intolerance in Tamil Nadu, where this man has been arrested in Coimbatore. And why? Because he supported Nupur Sharma. 24-year-old Karthi, a former ABVP leader, shared Nupur's video and defended the now suspended BJP spokesperson, prompting his arrest. And now, this girl you see on your screens, all of 19, is behind bars. She didn't support Nupur Sharma. She didn't speak of any community. She actually just slammed the rioters. 19-year-old Ashwini faced protests. These rioters took the law into their own hands, pelted stones at a police station and attacked her house. And how did the police respond? No, they didn't book the rioters. They actually jailed Ashwini instead.
এটা খারাপ কি লিখেছে খারাপ কিছু যদি লিখতো যে যদি কোনো উল্লেখ করে কিছু যদি লিখতো যদি যে কোনো সাম্প্রদায়িক দল বা কোনো ভাই সাহেব মুসলমান হ্যাঁ এই হিসাবে যদি ও লিখতো তাহলে এটা আলাদা ব্যাপার ছিল.
So what did Ashwini say in her post? She simply demanded that these rioters who resorted to violence in her state should be sent out of India, prompting violence on the streets of Howrah.
Stones were pelted, pointing the locals' residents, and as you can see, that this is the road connecting National Highway to this locality. Several houses were damaged. We can see that the stone were pelted, pointing towards the glass windows.
যা অবস্থা হয়েছিল যে পরের দিন যে আমরা বাজবো আত্মীয়স্বজন ফোন করছে মানে আমাদের কি গিয়েছে আমরা জানি এইটুকুন বলতে পারবো আর কিছু কি বলবো দাদা তারপরে তো পুলিশ যদি না আসতো ওই 10 মিনিটে যে আরো অনেক কিছু হতে পারত.
The BJP meanwhile has condemned this crackdown on a teenager and offered legal help as well to Ashwini's family.
Mob surrounded her house and the police arrested her rather. So in the same matter, the state said that sometimes it is safe to stay in the jail. So regarding the same, I have made my submissions and the Honorable Court has taken cognizance and they have asked the state to file a report regarding her arrest. So the matter will be taken up soon.
The very same political leaders who have time and again spoken of the BJP's intolerance and exposed the ruling party now stand guilty of maintaining a symbolic silence, of shining examples of intolerance in their own states, at least as much as those they accuse of displaying the same intolerance. But India Today will continue to highlight these stories of hypocrisy and fight for these youngsters who've been punished for voicing their views. With Ritik Mondal in Kolkata, Bureau Report, India Today. So what's happening with Ashwini, who's still languishing inside jail right now? 19 years old, wanted the Mamata Banerjee government to throw rioters out of the state, and she's been thrown into jail. India Today's Ritik Mondal has been tracking the story. Ritik, what is the current situation in the case? Ashwini has become the new face, or rather should I say the latest face of a young Indian who's been penalized for free speech.
Right, exactly. The things unfolded after in the wake of the violent protests erupted in Howrah, and Ashwini Bishwas, a 19 years old girl from Murshidabad, Beldanga. We did visit his place, her place, and of course also met her parents, and they were shivering because we did see that the entire house of that girl, and of course and also the neighborhoods of that particular girl was vandalized by the hate mongers. Things unfolded on Friday night, and when a fresh violence erupted in parts of Murshidabad. Now police police were blaming that Ashwini Bishwas, 19-year-old girl. These are the ruckus-like situation erupted because of her controversial post that she posted on her from her Facebook handle, and then she was picked up and detained. After a detailed questioning, she was arrested and now has been sent for 5 days jail custody. Now we also met her parents, and they absolutely deny that for having any indulgence of a kid in the creating this ruckus. But also we also met the parents and also the neighbors, and they also alleges that her house, which is at a stone throw distance of from Beldanga police station. Now we also did filed report that how the police were also targeted that evening, and they were absolutely helpless to rescue that girl, and she was arrested. So word of words have been also erupted. And let me also conclude with this updates that the demands for Nupur Sharma's arrest have been also raising in parts of in the other parts of Kolkata and as well as the states, and many non-political spectrums, they are also taking out rallies even today to demanding their raising their voice, demanding the arrest of Nupur Sharma.
Ritik, thanks very much for getting us that update on Ashwini. The BJP has stepped in. They want to provide her with some kind of legal support. But the fact is, this young woman is still in jail. All she wanted was action against rioters who are ruining her state. Now let's tell you from east, let's take you west to the story of Ketaki Chitale, the Marathi actor who yesterday marked 1 month, 30 days behind bars for a social media post attacking apparently Sharad Pawar. This Marathi actor has been in jail for the last 1 full month. She was thrown behind bars because derogatory content on social media against NCP Chief Sharad Pawar. She was arrested on the 14th of May and continues to be in jail even as we speak. And here are some of the other faces of young Indians who've been thrown behind bars. Now there's an ABVP youth from Coimbatore who supported Nupur Sharma, who's been arrested. Saad Ansari, who did not criticize Nupur Sharma, was slapped. He's still behind bars. The continuing jailing of young Indians who are simply speaking their minds. The real rioters, nothing's happening with them, but young Indians who merely express an opinion are all being thrown behind bars. Ketaki Chitale, who took on Sharad Pawar in a social media post. She's had many controversies before as well. She's been rude, she's been outspoken. But does she deserve to spend 1 month behind bars for a social media post against Sharad Pawar, continuously attacked by one of the ruling allies of the Mahavikas Aghadi, with all the free speech crusaders of the Uddhav government have their fingers on their lips as far as Ketaki Chitale is concerned. Live today on India Today is Milind Shintre. He's a Marathi actor. He happens to be Ketaki Chitale's friend. Milind, thank you very much for being with us here on India Today. Your friend Ketaki Chitale has been in jail now for the last 1 month, 31 days to be precise. She was arrested on May the 14th. Yesterday was 1 month since her arrest. She has strongly spoken out for herself in court, in hearing after hearing, saying that she refuses to apologize, that she has done no wrong. What is on your mind right now, Milind?
पहली चीज़ ये है साहब कि मैं केतकी का फ्रेंड बिल्कुल नहीं हूँ, मेरी पहचान भी नहीं है, लेकिन मैं उस बारे में सब कुछ जानता हूँ क्योंकि हम एक ही इंडस्ट्री से है। हुआ है दरअसल कि जस्ट बिफोर 30 डेज, लगभग 15 मई के आसपास कुछ, केतकी ने एक पोस्ट जो थी वो वायरल हो गई थी फेसबुक पे और सोशल मीडिया पे, तो वो उसने रीपोस्ट कर दी थी, वो उसने फॉरवर्ड कर दी थी। और उसकी जो लैंग्वेज थी, जो पोस्ट की, जो खुद केतकी ने लिखी नहीं हुई थी, इट वाज वेरी एब्यूजिव लैंग्वेज, वो गलत लैंग्वेज थी। वो उसका जो सब डायरेक्शन था, डायरेक्टिव्स जो थे वर्डिंग के, वो एनसीपी लीडर जो शरद पवार जी है उनके बारे में थे, और एनसीपी के जो सब कार्यकर्ता है हर एक जिले के, तो उनमें तो खलबली मच गई उससे, और सब लोगों ने मिलके एफआईआर डालनी शुरू कर दिए। और उसके बाद आई थिंक ठाणे बॉम्बे के नज़दीक है थाना, तो वहाँ के पुलिस ने केतकी को अरेस्ट किया। लेकिन मैं ऐसा कहना चाहता हूँ कि अरेस्ट होके 1 महीना हो गया है और अभी तक केस नहीं दाखिल हुआ है, तो जल्दी से जल्दी वो केस का निपटारा हो जाना चाहिए। या तो उसे छोड़ दो या तो केस चालू कर दो, जो भी करना है वो जल्दी हो जाना चाहिए। ये इतना ही मुझे कहना है।
तो आपको क्या लगता है कि एक महीना हो गया मिलिंद जी, that she has been in jail right now? Why do you think she is still in jail? The High Court ने भी एक pronouncement किया है कि जो करना है आप जल्दी करो. She's been in jail for the last 1 month.
Yeah, she's more than 1 month, I think. तो जल्दी से जल्दी ये हो जाना चाहिए। ये क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, ये या तो पुलिस जानती है या तो कोर्ट जानता है। ये क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? होना तो चाहिए, बिल्कुल होना चाहिए। क्या है, महाराष्ट्र में ऐसी थोड़ी बहुत परंपरा है कि जहां आर्टिस्ट एक्सप्रेस कर देता है, वो गलत हो सही हो, उसको वो सही लगता है। एक सीनियर राइटर थे हमारे यहाँ पे, विजय तेंदुलकर साहब थे, तो वो ही वॉज अ ग्रेट प्लेयर, राइट। सो विजय तेंदुलकर ने कहा था उस टाइम कि अगर मेरे हाथ में गन होता तो मैं मोदी को मार देता था। तो इतना बड़ा स्टेटमेंट हो जाने के बाद ना तो विजय तेंदुलकर को अरेस्ट मिला, ना तो जेल हुई, कुछ भी नहीं हुआ। क्यों नहीं हुआ? क्योंकि इंडिया में फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन है। ये जो फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन है, ये हर आर्टिस्ट चाहता है कि ये उसे मिले। लेकिन इस केतकी के केस के बारे में मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि उसने जो पोस्ट फॉरवर्ड किया, उसकी जो लैंग्वेज थी वो अच्छी नहीं थी। चाहे विचारधारा अलग हो सकती है एक आदमी की, मैं ऐसा आदमी हूँ कि मुझे आपकी विचारधारा अच्छी नहीं लगती, आप ऐसे कि आपको मेरी विचारधारा अच्छी नहीं लगती, लेकिन अगर मुझे एक्सप्रेस करना है, भले आपके खिलाफ हो, तो मेरी लैंग्वेज जो है वो अच्छी होनी चाहिए, वो सोबर होनी चाहिए। तो वो लैंग्वेज का प्रॉब्लम है, ऐसा मैं मानता हूँ। लेकिन फिर भी कुछ भी हो जाने दो, 1 महीना तक उसे जेल में रुकाने का कोई पॉइंट ही नहीं है। अगर रोकना है तो केस चालू कर दो, अगर केस नहीं चालू कर रही है तो छोड़ दो। इतनी सिंपल सी बात है।
मिलिंद, बहुत लोग फ्री स्पीच के बारे में बात करते हैं, ज़्यादातर महाराष्ट्र के नेता लोग बहुत बात करते हैं फ्री स्पीच के बारे में। क्या आपको लगता है कि शरद पवार, उद्धव ठाकरे, आदित्य ठाकरे, ऐसे लीडर्स, दे शुड कम आउट एंड से समथिंग? आई मीन, शी इज़ एन एक्टर, शी इज़ अ पब्लिक फेस, शी इज़ पॉपुलर, शी इज़ बीन इन jail for the last 1 month. What about all those people who speak about free speech, including people in government?
नहीं, फ्री स्पीच होना चाहिए, ये तो खाली ऑन पेपर है, ऐसा है ही नहीं। अगर कोई आर्टिस्ट है, वो खुद को एक्सप्रेस करता है, वो उसके आर्ट के जरिए एक्सप्रेस करता है, या इंटरव्यू के जरिए एक्सप्रेस करता है, या राइटिंग के जरिए एक्सप्रेस करता है। आज की तारीख में ऐसा है कि आप कुछ भी बोल दो, एक लाइन बोल दो, किसी के खिलाफ बोल दो, किसी के साइड में बोल दो, तो आज वो वायरल हो जाता है। जो लोग स्पेक्टेकल्स है, जो सुनने वाला है, जो देखने वाला है, जो पढ़ने वाला है, अगर उसे वो अच्छा नहीं लगा तो वो 1 मिनट विद इन स्पैन ऑफ 1 मिनट वो आपके डोर में आ जाता है। डोर में आ जाता है, आपको ट्रोल करता है, आपको मारता है, आपको कुछ भी हो सकता है। इस केस में, केतकी के केस में ऐसा नहीं हुआ। लोगों ने बकायदा पुलिस कंप्लेंट किया, कायदे से गए लोग, और आगे ये एक्सपेक्टेशन है हमारी कि ये कायदे से होना चाहिए, इंडियन पिनल कोड के मुतालिक होना चाहिए सब, और वो जल्दी होना चाहिए। वो नहीं हो रहा है। बाकी बात रहेगी हमारे सीएम साहब है, उद्धव ठाकरे जी है, आदित्य ठाकरे जी है, या खुद एनसीपी के सुप्रीमो शरद पवार साहब है, तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि उनके काम इतने बहुत बड़े हैं, इतने ज़्यादा है, उनके पास टाइम नहीं है। शायद उनको ये पता है भी नहीं, ये मुझे नहीं पता। अगर उनको पता भी होता तो उन्होंने माफ़ कर दिया होता। ये इतना छोटा इशू है एक तरह से देखा जाए तो, शरद पवार साहब को ये चीज़ शायद पता भी नहीं होगी, शायद बोल रहा हूँ मैं, मुझे पता नहीं कि उनको पता है या नहीं, लेकिन बड़ा आदमी है, बड़ी फिगर है, 4-5 बार महाराष्ट्र के सीएम रह चुके हैं, सेंट्रल में मिनिस्ट्री थी उनके पास, वो एग्रीकल्चर मिनिस्टर थे, डिफेंस मिनिस्टर थे, बहुत बड़े बड़े पोर्टफोलियो संभाले उन्होंने, ये पद्म विभूषण है शरद पवार जी, तो उनको शायद पता भी नहीं होगा कि ऐसा कुछ हुआ है, और अगर पता होता था तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है तो उन्होंने छोड़ दिया होता, तो माफ कर देता था, छोटी बच्ची है, कुछ ना कुछ तो बग गई, छोड़ दिया। ये इतना बड़ा इशू करने की भी जरूरत नहीं थी। ये बात सही है कि वर्ड्स गलत थे, लेकिन उसके खुद के नहीं थे, उसने फॉरवर्ड किए थे। अगर गलती है तो भाई केस चलाओ, और जो भी कोर्ट रिजल्ट देगा वो देगा, कोर्ट अपना रिजल्ट दे देगा। ये ऐसा विदाउट केस जेल में रखने का कोई मतलब ही नहीं है ना अभी, और बड़े बड़े जो लीडर्स हैं उनको ये पता भी नहीं होगा शायद।
Milind Chintre, thank you very much for speaking to India Today. We will continue to put the spotlight on young Indians who continue to be behind bars for speaking out, because they've become the face of hypocrisy around the country. Thanks for watching 5 Live. We'll see you at the same time tomorrow. 6 p.m. Prime comes up next with Pooja.
India's #1 political reporter.
Defines what seems to be happening, vendetta politics. कोई दूध के से धुला हुआ नहीं है.
Unmatched eye, unmatched experience.
The world has changed. My black hair has become grey as well.
And with unmatched passion for the story.
Do not monopolize the conversation.
When it's 100% pure prime time. It's News Today with Rajdeep Sardesai. Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. Only on India Today TV. Make your media plans smarter with India Today Live TV.